And welcome back to episode 65 of the Unpaid and Underrated Podcast. We are a podcast by crew for crew. I'm one of your hosts, Big Keith, joined as always by Big Joey.
Oh, hey, it's me again.
And we got Big Brad on this week as our guest crew. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys? I'm doing good.
Welcome, welcome. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Brad, what are you drinking tonight, buddy?
Well, full disclosure, I'm not a big sparkling water guy, but just for us, I do have a lime bubbly tonight.
Very nice. Lime bubbly
Nice.
is top tier.
We like lime bubbly here. So
Woo!
I've got this is my second Olipop. I think I had like a Dr. Pepper or a Mr. Pibb kind of version of it last time. This one is actually just as classic root beer. I've had a couple swigs of it. It's not bad. Pretty sure we paid way too much money for it, but my wife like brought a 4-pack home, and I'm like, that was probably like $16. I don't want to see the receipt, but I'll enjoy it. It's pretty tasty.
$8 a can.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I am having a non-alcoholic Guinness, and I will tell you, if you want a non-alcoholic beer, this non-alcoholic Guinness is where it's at. It's definitely.
Didn't
That's
you have
my
that? Have you had that like I vaguely remember like 6 months ago you had one of those because
I
my
have them
friend
all the
that
time.
doesn't drink. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
like I told her about it specifically.
Yeah, I have them all the time. Definitely when I'm like, it's especially if I'm watching something in Scotland or Ireland, and they're all drinking Guinness, and I'm just like, fuck, I'd have a beer.
Mhm.
I usually reach for one of those, right?
Nice.
I will dip into some Keiths and some Miller Lite later, but it's right now.
Give
It's
it
going to
up.
be this non-alcoholic Guinness, and I've got some water in my Arnold cup to,
Nice.
cheers with my guest.
I also have my Arnold cup on standby.
What is the Arnold Cup? What am I missing? Is that just like a plastic memorial thing, or what am I? What did I?
Well, it depends what year
drawing a
you were
blank?
there.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
cool.
so that one's wow. Okay,
Brad,
Yeah,
Brad was there in 1989. Okay, good to know.
that's
So-
that's from this year.
so mine's actually
stuff.
from last year, which is the 35th anniversary. So
Okay.
because it was the big anniversary, I ordered the VIP bag. So you
Oh,
can
nice.
see back there, I've got the VIP
Mhm.
thingamajig. What do you call that?
Yeah.
Lanyard.
Lanyard?
Yeah, I got the cup. I got a big pin that says 35th. And like, we went all out, me and Steve, for that one.
Yeah, I was rolling in on the strongman VIP tickets for that one.
Nice,
That's the
nice.
spirit.
What
Went
do you
big.
wear? What do you wear tonight, there, Big Brad?
I have the military green or olive green gym shirt that was made available at the Arnold.
Nice, it's a good one.
So it is one of my favorites.
What hat you rocking there too? Is that a fart hat or is that a
That is a Tanner farted on Massonomics leather patch hat.
nice?
It is my go-to hat.
The cool thing about that one is that if that hat ever actually like wears out or like you blow out the back of it or something, just rip just unstitch it and there you go. You got a patch.
Just
Indeed.
blow out the back on it.
Well, no, I was thinking of the what the
Don't
is,
fuck
yeah.
our hats.
No,
That's
yeah, you're all kinds of giving that thing back shots out of that. Strap? What is what is the
Fuck's
goddamn
sake.
latching mechanism on the back of a hat? Why can't I think of the name of that? Oh, that's bugging me. That's the fact that no one's helping me. Fuck you guys.
No,
What the
because
hell?
I don't know. A buckle? Is it a
Snapback, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, snapback. That's what I was going for. All right. Well, I'm wearing the curl shirt, and I don't know what a snapback is until I think about it for 45 seconds. But what about you, Joey? I see
I'm
that.
actually wearing a special edition shirt that I only got out because Brad's here. This shirt is way too small for me now, but I refuse to get rid of it. So this is the special edition Bray Wyatt Blackcraft Cult.
Nice.
Oh,
So it's-
wow.
Yeah. So that was never really advertised from the WWE. It was only advertised on Blackcraft. And so it's got, you guys can't see it, but it's got a buzzard with swords through it. And it just says follow on the bottom. And it says Blackcraft Cult on the top. And, this was one of those ones that he did. The money goes to him. He splits it with Blackcraft. They did a couple of wrestlers. They did like a Seth Rollins and Aleister Black one. And at the time, this is the only one I picked up. It fit me fine when I got it. It is way too small right now. Morgan said that, like, she's like, if you had a good pump, you'd make me blush in that shirt. So, but I'm going to tell you, this is coming off soon. This is way too small. I am uncomfortable.
Nice. Yep. What do you got,
That's
Brad?
like every concert shirt that I own. Way too small.
Yeah, they're all bad blanks.
Well, how were the blanks at the were you at it wasn't a Renaissance fair, but it was something LARP adjacent. What did you
It was a Renaissance fair.
Was it? Okay. Nice.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if I told this story. and she's gonna kill me for saying it. I love my wife. Well, preface that, and I'm not the person to go on a podcast or go in public and complain about his wife. But if I ask her, hey, I have to work today, can you book the doctor's appointment or can you book the dentist appointment? She won't. Just doesn't want to do it. It just slips her mind. One day I'm doing my job and the person I'm talking to, they say like, oh, we make costumes for Renaissance fairs and cosplay. And they said, have you ever brought your kids to a Renaissance fair? And I was like, no, and not because I don't want to. It just hasn't come up. So I get home and I'm telling Morgan, oh yeah, they were saying, it's really fun. And I was like, so if it's a thing you want to do, just let me know. In 24 hours, she had a local one scoped out, tickets bought, costumes planned. Like, so obviously she was excited. So I'm definitely in. But it was a very local, basic one. It wasn't more than a stadium size. And there was no people like in costumes like, oh, fair man, what is that? There was nobody doing that shit. It was mostly just vendors and knights. They had a knights battle.
That's cool.
We got to watch some jousting. Oren got to ride a horse. But I did want to throw that back to Murph and just be like, yo, LARP adjacent.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. Like, your wife would want to do something that she wants to do more so than book your doctor's appointment. Like,
yeah.
Like, I get lucky, and Stephanie, like, if I ask her to book something, she'll do it like 50% of the time and tell me to go fuck myself the other 50% of the time. So, like, I'm already winning just getting that 50% of, like, her booking my own appointments.
I should have been clear.
40-year-old should be able to do.
Yeah, I meant hers or the kids. I book my own shit.
Okay, I thought you were. I got you.
If I'm just like, the kids need to see the doctor, can you just do that? She'll be like, yeah, we'll get it. Yeah. No, I book my own shit. I'm an adult.
I got you. Well, I mean, sometimes. Are you more or less of an adult than Steffi is?
Who?
Yeah, I don't know. She's been in the news, but yeah, I don't know.
It's fucking bozo shit. I don't want to be involved in any of that. It's bozo drama shit. What is going on down there in the United States in the powerlifting community? You guys are more dramatic than like a middle school band practice. Like, I don't understand sometimes what's going on.
Yeah, and there was something with Powerlifting America, some kind of threat or something. I didn't actually get to the blog. I'll have to probably wait for a two white lights episode next week to actually hear what the fuck that was about. About the drop. Anybody pick up, any of you coffee drinkers out there, grab the drop? Because me as a tea drinker, it didn't do anything for me. Sorry.
I did grab it. I picked it up. I'm an avid coffee
guy.
Drinker.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely the audience. I mean, I'm sure there's probably 70% of the crew fucking are avid coffee drinkers. I'm just not one of them. And that's like my if I had to pick my least favorite trait of my wife, it would be the fact that she has coffee breath sometimes, and I'm like, I'm good. I can't endorse coffee. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
No,
Coffee's the enemy.
I am a coffee drinker, but the $90 shirt and coffee combo after shipping and all that, it just didn't really appeal to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, what shirt are you buying?
Yeah, after exchange.
He had to buy two.
Yeah, I was not. Maybe you'd have to live tired, live easy. If there's some coffee left over, I'll pick some up.
There you go.
Anybody win any garage gym competition prizes yet?
Fuck you.
Dude, I'm so excited. I won the Denny handles from
Cerberus.
Yes, Cerberus. Yes. And actually, so I sent that out to a few of my friends, and I just like sent them the link, and I was like, "Hey, I won this. How awesome is that?" Blah blah blah. And my one buddy, like, I didn't pick up on the sarcasm, but he was like, "Oh, do they come with their own stones?" Or no, he was like, "Do you have to provide your own stones?" And I thought he like literally didn't understand it was a loading pin with handles on it, and I was like, "No, it's a fucking it's like it's you work up to the weight." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I guess the sarcasm was lost in the text." I was like, "Yeah, I didn't catch that. Sorry, buddy." But I know I'm excited to get those. That'll be fun, a nice addition. Definitely fit into my new strongman routine we're doing, and it's just something usually like my Friday nights, like people just like jump in and have like random fun shit at the end, like we would have done the grip stuff and stuff. So that'll just help. If I only ever lift them once or twice in my whole life, like someone will use them here. So
well, I've got Denny replicas and pins. So I'm definitely the 100-pound plates are perfect for those.
Nice.
Right,
where I have no clue like what weight I'd even be picking up on that, and I'm just like I don't know. We'll just throw 45 on and see what comes off the ground. And
I think I was able. I can't even remember. Me and Steve were messing with them in the basement. I was able to pull. I want to say 225 per hand.
Nice,
but I think he got over 500 total, and I wasn't able to do that math. But yeah, It's definitely fun shit.
Good deal.
It's pretty much a Jefferson deadlift if you've never done them before.
Yeah, I've done. Yeah, no, I've never done those. And my Jefferson is like light. It's
Well,
very not.
but because you're not picking from the ground, right? When you're doing a Denny stone, you're essentially you are just stand up.
Mhm.
That's all
Good,
you
yeah, a
got to
little
do.
easier.
Whereas the Jefferson, you're doing like a full on like hinged deadlift. So that's, you're able to do a little more weight if your weakness is off the ground when you're doing Denny's. But if your weakness is your lockout, then you're gonna do a little less weight. Listen to me talking like I fucking know anything.
Big strong
Yeah,
boy.
I just lift stones,
knowledgeable adjacent.
just lift rocks. You guys and your barbells.
Do like a barbell.
Oh, did you see either of you see the logos Morgan designed for the Dilf
Mm.
Dungeon?
Oh yeah. In your stories, yep.
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
I made it a real life post
Was
and
it? Okay,
yeah.
okay, yeah. I believe. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I saw it on Facebook. Even I believe actually, it was your backdrop of your Facebook now. Your
Yeah.
header picture, I believe.
All of these marketplace talks got me back on Facebook, and I got on there and I added a few people, and I can tell you right now, I'm already over it. I it's been like less than 72 hours, and I'm just like, I have eliminated 100 people that I was friends with from like 5 years ago, some of which are family because they're posting such wild shit. And I
Yeah,
was just like, I
mute button's your
hate
friend
this
for sure.
place. I hate it. So I can't imagine I'll be there much longer. I was hoping to find
Oh,
some marketplace deals or at least sell some stuff on marketplace, but goddamn, it's
there's
just
people too that like they'll just create a like a bogus account and then just use that for marketplace and then like
mhm.
not have any friends and literally just use it for marketplace. That's not an uncommon thing, at least down
Yeah.
here. So you can always try that as a secondary account just to like and blur the noise that is social media.
But ultimately the Barbie one is the logo that everybody voted for. So, which is infuriating because she spent a week on the other two, and that one was
Well,
AI generated.
who cares about like I mean, we do fucking polls all the time and I don't agree with half the like who cares? Like it's funny because I'll do a poll sometimes for like, hey, what's the best day to do my lift party on? And then like in my head everyone's like I already know what fucking day I'm picking. I just want you to feel like you have a vote. But
Well,
like don't feel obligated to go with whatever the general public went with. It's your fucking
yeah,
gym. It's
it might
her
be
her time and effort. So
one's a logo, one becomes like a sticker, and then one is not the body break one because she was the body break motto is keep fit and have fun. So she was like, I kind of want to do one in the body break style because I've talked about them on before, right? This old fitness
mm,
program from when I was a kid.
yeah.
And she's like, but like, what do I make to keep fit and have fun? And I was like, lift rocks and eat ass. That's fucking hilarious. And everybody was like, that one. And I'm like, no, we're not
That's a
wearing
fun
that one in
Yeah,
public.
that's a funny one, but it's that's one you can post for your stories, but I wouldn't never you can't have your grandma say that one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's for Sunday brunch in Aberdeen, right?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
indeed. Indeed. Now that would be very tacky to wear at
Not
that.
again.
And speaking of tacky, I used tacky for the first time yesterday. Oh my God, I fucking
Ugh.
hate that. It's horrible. Like for like stone lifting, I had my session with the local strongman coach. Hit a log PR, super happy with that. And then we did stones, and I'm pretty sure I hit a stone PR because like last time I was there, I thought I lifted the 240, but I think I only lifted the 220 or the 200. I'm not sure because they're all like not labeled great anymore because there's just so much tacky and like just shit on them. Like
Yeah.
whatever spray paint number there was is just gone. Uh, but yeah, tacky sucks. Like stones in general fucking suck. My forearms hurt so bad. I'm gonna have to try the athletic tape method next time, I think. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna have to get like the stone sleeves and go from there. But for now, yeah, tacky. Not a fan of tacky.
No, tacky is in the Highland Games. The big boys like to get it all over the hammers. And I hate it because it just rips the skin right off your hands. Like these
Mm.
guys don't ever do grip or something. Like just grip the thing, swing it around, man. But yeah, tacky gets everywhere. It's
Yeah.
the worst.
What about did you get a chance to watch this week's YouTube video, Brad? Tommy talking about his new rep bench.
I did not see that yet. That will probably be lunchtime tomorrow.
I
My
know.
entertainment.
Yep, I get you that. I did get a chance to watch it. I would, I had my feed blew. I had like 7 alerts at 4 o'clock all at once. It was like the cool beans drop. Like I wonder if usually they strategically like put the video somewhere different if they're going to do a drop. So like I had Tommy's video drop and then the cool beans drop to go look to see what was coming out. and then there was something else. I was just like, God damn, my phone won't stop like flashing at me. But I did watch it. It was cool. They had in his gym. I don't know if he strategically did it or he just didn't have enough tacks or something, but like all his flags in Tommy's gym, he only had like pegged at the top, so then they were just like flapping in the wind and shit. So it was actually kind of cool to like see the all his flags kind of flying around. But I was like, oh man, look, a couple more big gusts and they might just be ripping all those down. So I maybe have to get 4 points of contact on there, Tommy.
Yeah, it looks like a nice bench, though.
Mm-hmm.
I do need to get myself a nice new bench one of these days.
Do it up, buddy. No time like the present. So I'm not even going to ask Joey. I know Joey didn't watch that YouTube video that came out today, I'm going to imagine. What about the podcast? Did you guys listen to Big Andrew Heinous episode last week?
I did. Yep, he was pretty entertaining.
Nice. If you had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you give her there?
That's a 5. 5
Nice.
iPod touches.
5 out of 5. I dig that. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I've met Andrew a couple. Well, I think we met last year and we were kind of like we're old buddies this year shooting the shit. So it was a good dude. The story that he told on the podcast about literally sharding himself when he was talking to Eddie at the
I
booth.
shit
Like
myself.
I about shit myself laughing so hard. Like I was the funniest fucking thing I ever heard.
Yeah.
I was like, you poor bastard. And then
That
like
sounds like it should have been
tell-
on our podcast.
yeah, to tell tens of thousands of people that story, man. And I don't think I've seen him yet. Maybe there was I think someone had a meme that like I don't know. I think there was at least one or two memes, but like that's something that like if I wasn't running our pod, like if we weren't on this podcast, I'd have so much more time to do memes about their podcast. I just feel like I haven't my ability and my time to make memes the last year has just gone down the hill for like Massonomics content. So that would have been a good one because I would have loved to make a good like shit himself meme. I'm not really sure what it would have been, but that would have been great. So uh considering all those things, we'll go and give it a 5 out of 5 Massonomics Gym Sharts.
If I had to say anything to make you feel a little better, we record about 2 hours of Massonomics content a week for the past 50 something weeks. So I don't really feel too bad about not contributing memes.
True.
Good episode. A lot of good laughs, way too much basketball talk as usual. But this dude dropped a lot of name for somebody that's not crew. So why isn't he crew yet? Like, do your work there, Keith. The guy.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, actually, I did. I got into his DMs that night a little bit, and because it was funny that he like actually called me out by names, and yeah, Big Keith's gonna get on my ass about that or something. But I don't know, man. I don't know that he. I know he. There's a difference between like subbing to Massonomics or subbing to any podcast and then actually listening to like regularly listening to the podcast. So I could tell he probably wasn't super up to date on the podcast. Like, I'm sure he's listened to dozens of episodes, but like, is he in the know on a lot of stuff? I don't know. Like, you can know a lot of guys, but still not be like to such a level that you're like, I'm gonna spend some more money and invest another like 7 hours a week on the Discord now. So like, I get why some people are kind of hesitant to.
I don't.
But the door's always open.
Yeah, that's bozo shit too. Hit on massonomics.com/join. Anyway, I'm gonna give it 5 Massonomics iPod underwear changes. Brad, you got an ad read for us?
I do, because I'd love to tell you guys about my buddies over at the Massonomics podcast, Tanner and Tommy. They are Beavis and Butthead for meatheads, my friends. You got to listen in. New episode drops every Sunday evening around 6 p.m. Eastern. That's probably 5 p.m. Central if we're talking about Western, Northeast, South Dakota time. But I tell you what, they'll keep you in the know around the strength community, about the powerlifting drama, Steffi Cohen's toes. They'll talk about it all. What's going on in the Midwest? How about old Chevy pickup trucks? They'll cover it for you. They got you covered. And if you're like me and you don't have friends that lift, the Massonomics supporting membership will give you all the friends that lift that you need. So make sure you join, support, join the Discord, and come hang out with all of us and all the shenanigans. A lot of shenanigans and probably some sharts or some farts, probably on hats.
Good, well done. I think a shart on a hat would be bad. Like I don't. What would a shart? What kind of hat would be the worst to shart on, man? I don't know. That would be Because like you gotta think if it's the mesh, it would kind of dissipate eventually. It'd be easier to wash out. Maybe I don't know.
It's the beanie or toque, if you will,
Yeah,
would be the worst because
All
that's
right.
just going to soak right in there.
Yeah, I kind of misunderstood the question because you said which would be the worst to shard on, and it's like, well, if I'm sharding on something, I don't really care where it's landing. Like to have one that somebody sharded on, I think is a different conversation. I'll shard on any hat. Don't you threaten me with a good time.
The best would be the camo, probably, because it's not going to
Yeah,
show.
yeah, but not as much at least. Yeah, I mean, I have some green stuff come out every now and then. That's true. Like a little poop talk is never a bad thing.
Nope.
All right,
Yeah,
we're ready to kick
a
all these.
little.
We're ready to kick all these shitheads out and get our guests on the horn, Joey.
Yeah, let's do it. Harp's gone. Big Matt's gone. He
Oh.
joined and just like didn't fucking say anything again. Like this guy, like we
He's
gotta
been-
get it. I don't know what he's doing. He's messing with us like long term or something. Because like there's no way he gets it this wrong this often.
I don't know.
So like I don't know what's going on there, but I guess he sends his regards or sent his regrets that he couldn't join us tonight. But hey, let's get Big Brad. Is that you?
Hey, it's me, guys. It is me.
Welcome.
You are
Welcome to Unpaid
live.
and Underrated.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you, buddy.
I'm glad to be had.
That's a lot of having. Anyway, let's get over with those weird ass pleasantries. So let's dive right in. So let's go with your Instagram and Discord so people know who we're talking to.
On Discord, I am Biggest Brad. I have I don't know if I switched. I think it's usually the Darth Vader little icon. And then on Insta, I am Brad_Dieters. I believe that's what it is. Don't post much on there. I'm a big follower, lurker, absorb content, but I'm a middle-aged white man. I don't post a lot of content.
As someone that tried to do a lot of research on you this past week, I can attest that your Facebook and Instagram are fucking barren. Like
my social media presence is what my wife tags me in.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense. So, okay, well that's good. Are there many other Brads, or are you the only Brad in crew? Because like I definitely sometimes I'm like, is this the Brad that I'm having on the podcast? I'm not sure.
I think there's a couple of them. I know there was right away when the Discord started was another one. That's why I switched to Biggest Brad, just kind of as a joke. And then I think
Nice.
he switched to America's Brad.
Gotcha. That's good stuff.
So yeah,
I dig it.
Well,
not like the Davids though.
Yeah, too many of those.
some of them just hide their names, like they pretend they're not Davids, but they really are.
Okay.
So what brought you to Massonomics?
Well, probably like a few of us. I know we don't care for it, but I discovered them on Coop's gym tour back in the day. When was that? I think that was like
18 or 19
August
probably.
2019.
Yeah, it sounds right.
So that brought me in. I started listening from there. Made my whole way through the backlog. I tell you what, it's come a long way.
Now, how was your listening on that? So did you start listening to the new ones and then just like as time went on, you caught the old ones, or you simultaneously listening to the old ones while the new ones were like week to week?
Yeah, so I would have started on what was ever most recent for that week, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, if they're talking current events, I'm at least kind of, in the know of what's going on. And then I would listen every week, and then I'd slowly, as I needed some content to absorb, I would work my way through. Maybe here and there, I would, pick and choose some guests that were really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I did eventually make it. I just went back to the beginning and just started listening through.
Nice. Well done. Congratulations.
So.
There's probably less than 50 of us that have probably done that. If I had to put a number, I'd say it's 50 or less. That's probably actually dedicated the 1,000 hours to that.
All I'm saying is some people seem to think that I listened to the backlog, but pretend I haven't. But every
I know
time
you
somebody,
haven't.
every time somebody makes a reference from something in the backlog, you don't get the reference. And maybe now it's not so much that I'm pretending I haven't. Maybe it's time that you might admit that you're pretending you have.
I don't fucking know what Mike Teixeira looks like. How the fuck I don't like I had to go look to see if I followed him. I don't think I've ever seen a post on Instagram in my entire life, like
I don't even
ever.
know who the fuck that is.
I don't either, really. I think he's is he the RPE guy? I don't fucking know. I don't know. But I don't know. I know a lot of people are, but I've been doing my best I'm still purging people left and right. Like I'm trying to get my Instagram to where like the people I follow versus my follower account is like a lot more close. I think I've unfollowed like 200 people in the last like 6 months. It's been amazing. I'm seeing all kinds of new shit in my feed and I'm like, "Ooh, I don't like you. I'm gonna unfollow you now. I haven't seen you in my stories in like 2 years and I'm okay, now you're really gone."
Yeah, actually, today I was like, fuck, I don't follow Goob or Steffi. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I don't need to.
Yeah,
I don't need to. You don't offer me anything anymore.
Sorry, I cut you off there, Brad. So listen to the backlog, all up to date on that. When you start interacting with, so you would have been like a loyal fan prior to actual crew existing. So were you already like friends with a bunch of us online or anything, or did you kind of not really become more knowledgeable of all of us out there until crew uh, Discord was a thing?
I probably picked up a few people here and there, right, from interacting just with the Massonomics Instagram feed. So I'm sure I picked up a few of them. But then when the Discord became a thing, I became a supporting member. I think it was December 30 of 2020 was the first time I paid up. So I'm member number 30.
I was gonna say, like, you're low in the numbers. Very nice.
Early, yeah.
Yeah, and I think at the Arnold, I think Tanner checked, and I think I had moved up to like number 23 because people in front had dropped out.
Yeah.
So I've been around for a while.
Damn it, because I think I was numbers like 63 or 65. So there's no way I can become 69.
No, I'm
like people would have to have joined before me somehow now. Like they'd have to go back in time and join before me.
I think I'm somewhere between I'm somewhere between 95 and 105. I think I'm not positive, but I think I'm in that realm.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what's your Hall of Fame status there, Brad?
Asshole.
Hall of Fame status, I think after tonight joining you guys, I think I am at 9, I believe.
There you go.
Very nice.
Chipping away.
And then I should I'll check off 2 more because I will see you guys in Aberdeen in July.
Oh, nice. You're on the roster.
I am not competing.
Okay.
I'm going to volunteer for the strongman.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
So I'll be there to slap you on the back and help you out whatever you need.
Hell yeah, buddy.
And then at the end of the year, obviously that'll give me 4 years of supporting membership. So that'll get me my Hall of Fame status here in December.
Get you that sippy cup. Good stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
And I do believe that I got you to join on this podcast before you knew that it was a Hall of Fame. Right? Because it was at the Arnold. I handed you my phone. It was like, pick a date. And that was before the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yes, I did not know that was
right.
After, right?
So he's not one of those, I got to get on here for the Hall of Fame. He's on here because he wants to be.
Indeed. Indeed. I definitely want to be here.
Nice. Well, we're glad to have you, my friend. Whereabouts are you, where are you from and where do you live, essentially?
So I was born and raised and still live in the bright lights of Holland, Michigan, on the west side, right on the lake. I think I'm probably a short drive away from Dodzilla.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like,
so numero uno.
Any crew meetups there yet with him?
I met him at the Highland Games, the Holland Celtic Festival and Highland Games last year. He came and checked out. Actually took a lot of video and stuff for me after we figured out who each other were.
I remember that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Yep. So yeah, that was really, really nice. I'd like to return the favor sometime and get up to the Great Lakes strongest man to do in Traverse City or whatever and yell for him there.
He's also only about 6 hours from me. And him and I have been talking, and I'm off the week before the Live Hard Live Easy and about a week after the Live Hard Live Easy before I go to Creed. So just keep your DMs open.
Yeah, no, I would love to I'd love to get up there and play with some of his strongman stuff sometime. And I've never tried a log before. And I got a basement gym with a low ceiling, so overhead press has not been in my repertoire in a good hot minute. So unless I'm sitting.
Yep. Got to get some Z presses in. So while you're on your lifting history, just go ahead and take us through that. Like what got you into fitness? What got you into lifting? What do you look like currently? Competition history, etc.
Well, so I started lifting just kind of haphazardly. So I was always the fat kid growing up. I still am the fat kid. But I started lifting kind of in high school, trying to lean out, and I did. I slimmed down, and then I started working full time around 20 years old, and I think I lost like 45 pounds in 3 months. Like I had a metabolism for the first time in my life. So one of the older guys that worked with me was a bodybuilding fan, and we had a nice work gym. So I just started lifting, and that's all I did. And I drank the weight gainers. I took the creatine. I did whatever I had to do, and I got pretty lean. I mean, I think at one point in time I was probably like 8% body fat, and really, I had like 4 abs, not 6, but I had 4.
It's more than I got.
Yep.
But that was kind of always my thing. And then eventually, when Massonomics came around, I figured out what powerlifting and strongman and stuff was, and that's when I started to fill out and really put on some decent size. So I went from a medium t-shirt to an XL in probably a few years.
Nice.
So I'm trying to lean back out now, but yeah, I've been lifting for a long, long time.
So are you sub masters or full blown masters then?
I am 43, so full blown masters.
Full blown masters. There you go. I never know. It's hard to tell sometimes. If I don't know if you're 30 or 50. I don't know. Not you, but it's like in general, like
Yeah, my elbows tell me I am masters. I tell you,
I feel that this past couple of weeks. I feel that for sure.
So last week I did an RPE 10. I don't know what the F Juggernaut's up on right now, but Juggernaut now has me doing accessory lifts 2 days a week, and then on the third day, all 3 competition lifts. And for some reason, I was testing RPE 10 squats and bench last week, and it was a really good session. Like I got weight up that I didn't think I'd get up for more reps than I thought I would, but now I can't move my left knee. So I'm definitely feeling that master's life. But I have just a quick question based on something you said. What the fuck is a chorky, and how do you get rid of it?
Yeah, you guys are talking about the bird. A chorky is a Chihuahua Yorkie mix that Allison works for Harbor Humane Society. So sometimes dogs just show up at my house.
That sounds great.
Sometimes it's really fun. She's only there for another week or so. She got a new job, so it shouldn't involve dogs randomly showing up at my house. But it's a little Chihuahua Yorkie mix. It absolutely adores me. I think the thing is the Antichrist. I refer to it as the Dark Lord. But it is just the worst. It's just the worst creature on earth. It truly is.
Like, does she nip? Does she bite? Does she just bark all the time? Piss and shit everywhere? Like, what?
Yeah.
How can she like you, but then be a pain in the ass? I guess
that's it. That dog would just piss everywhere.
Okay, so
it is usually my job when I get home from work is, let's see, how many piss spots do I got to clean up?
That makes more sense.
Being a Yorkie and Chihuahua mix, those two things are genetic defects anyway, right? So
yeah,
you combine them and you got a level of fuckery that I'm swearing a lot tonight, and I'm not even drinking. Like I don't have an excuse, but yeah, I can see that.
Yep. So we have 4 dogs, and we've got a pug. I actually enjoy the pug because it's just a weird little creature. Her name is Minerva. I just call her Pug. It's what she is. It's a freak. It's just a pug. It shouldn't exist probably. And then we've got Hagrid, or we just call him Bub, but he's your big stereotypical pit bull. He's got the cropped ears, the whole thing. But he's the biggest sissy on the face of the earth, scared of everything. And then we have Mando Boogs. affectionately named after, Mandalorian, and then the Boogs, Rick Boogs, my guy. And he is 45 pounds of mutt. We did the DNA test. He's actually mostly pit bull, but looks nothing like a pit bull. He's like 95% pit bull, looks nothing like one. You would
That's the same as that singer from Puerto Rico, right?
Yes. Yep. So he is 95% Puerto Rican pop star. So,
but still our pit bull.
Yep. So that's the pets. I am horrendously allergic to cats. I have nothing against them.
I'm gonna I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna sign off here.
Just horrendously. I like cats just fine. I had them growing up, but also once I found I was allergic, explained why I was absolutely miserable.
Yeah,
because they are like my number one allergy.
What is it? So like, are people allergic to dogs? Like, is that a thing, or is it just cats? Because I've known many people allergic to cats and like have to take shots and shit if they want to like be around them.
Yeah.
Are people allergic to dogs? Is that a thing?
I think so. I mean, my dogs can kick up my allergies too, but it's something in the cat dander that if I'm in a house with cats, I am probably going to need a rescue inhaler at some point in time to keep breathing.
It's probably not the best idea then.
Yeah, it's not the best, but I get by.
So as far as getting back to the lifting real quick, have you done any competing then?
I have never done a powerlifting meet. I am a juggernaut guy, so I do the juggernaut training. I've done the mock meets. Last early December, I was supposed to do a charity powerlifting meet at one of the local gyms here, and I ended up getting sick as all get out, and it never happened. I had to skip it, so it was kind of a bummer because I had done my training and I was going to be kind of peaking around there and was looking to put up some decent pulls, and it just didn't work out. I got sick. I probably lost 15 pounds over the course of 4 days, and so it never happened. So I do compete in Highland Games. I've done a handful of those contests.
That's it doesn't have to be powerlifting. That's still competing. That's something that a lot of us. I've never done that. That sounds cool as shit.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. We have a local group gets together every Wednesday night here out in the field, and we throw heavy things, and it's a lot of fun.
That is awesome.
I definitely don't place. I think I've placed third place once, and it's only because there's only three of us in the class. I'm 5'8". I'm like 217 pounds, and the guys I compete with are like 6'4", closing in on 300. I'm not going to compete with them. It's a big man's game.
Well, I mean, if you brought the same BB gun that you shot your sister in the head with when you were a kid, you might be able to stand a chance against them, right? Take a couple shots at them.
I don't think they'd even notice. They're some big boys, but yeah, that did happen.
Did your parents notice that when you shot your sister? Did that get you killed by your old man as a fucking child? Because I know if I did that,
he was definitely mad. So I had a birthday party or like a sleepover of some sort, and I think what happened is that gun got pumped up to high hell. And I was carrying it outside, going out the back door to our deck. And as I came around the corner, I bumped it on the fridge. It discharged. BB went off the floor into the front, then rolled underneath like the scalp, and then went out the back.
Oh, Jesus.
So she had blood coming out both ends, and it was just spraying out.
Oh my God.
That's
traumatic as fuck.
Like a sprinkler. It was horrible.
Was it a pellet or a BB?
It was a BB.
It had to be a BB. A pellet wouldn't fucking ricochet like that. God damn.
Yeah. The pellet would have flattened out or whatever they do. But the BB just ricocheted and it went in the front, rolled across the skull, under the scalp, and out the backside.
So I assume she has an entry and an exit scar, but does she have like a snake trail scar too from when like the skin got lifted?
No. I mean, she's got a full head of hair, so
yeah, I'm curious.
You would never know,
man.
So she's crazy. Fine.
How old were you guys when that happened? Ballpark.
Yeah, probably elementary school. Maybe I was in 4th or 5th grade. My sister was probably, in 1st or 2nd grade, maybe.
Okay. Oh God, that had to be a bad day for you, buddy.
It was not my best day. The gun never returned home.
No, mine, I would have probably got it broke over my ass if that happened, even an accident or not.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure my dad thought about it, but he's too nice.
Good stuff.
Good one. I'm glad that made it on the questionnaire.
Yeah, yep. It was. I always like. I'm always curious to see what we're gonna get for any funny or embarrassing stories. That's what I like. You got anything, Joe? Or you want me to keep chugging away?
Yeah, I'm amending some shit, so you go
You're
ahead.
good. Have at it. All right. So I get this game I like to play. So are you familiar with least fun, most fun? I'm going to give you a couple topics, and then you just tell me individually per topic what is the least fun thing about it and the most fun thing about it, in your opinion, with using your own druthers. So I'm going to go Big Brad, least fun, most fun, smoking meats, or just barbecuing, grilling, etc. altogether.
Most fun is the end result and getting to share it with people. I have never had negative feedback, but I can't imagine most people you feed them, a delicious, prime brisket are going to complain about it. But that is the best part. The worst part can be the prep and the time involved. Sometimes you got to wake up at 2 a.m. and put a brisket on so that you cannot be Big Matt and feed your family dinner at a reasonable time. So,
fucking guy.
And brisket's tough because you never know. I've had them done in 8 hours, and I've had them take 17 hours. So you never know.
So I've been having I've had brisket a handful of times recently, just at local barbecue places, and I've had really, really fatty brisket and really, really dry brisket. And is that more of a cooking thing, or is that more how much fat's on the meat thing?
It can be how they trim it. So brisket comes with a big fat cap on it. So you got to trim that down, a lot of times restaurant brisket, they really trim it and it can get a little dry. Mm-hmm. Or even if you're doing a competition brisket, but if you're just cooking for people, leave some of that fat cap on there because it's delicious.
Absolutely.
And then it depends on what point you got. If you got the flat or the point is really fatty. That is some of the most delicious brisket you'll ever have. That's what people make like the burn ends out of, that are just little pieces of meat candy.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do one more here for least fun, most fun. There's a couple I'd actually like to ask here, but I think they'll come up later on just in conversation. So we'll go with I know you were there this year, so least fun, most fun at the Arnold.
Well, the most fun this year was taken in the strongman comp because it was brutal. It was just brutally heavy. And it was just a lot of fun to see those people in person. And then obviously just the energy in the arena that they build there is pretty intense. It was a really cool thing to be a part of and get to see in person for the first time. That was just an absolute blast. I mean, outside of obviously, finally meeting the guys and the rest of the crew.
Yeah, now you're changing the story halfway through. It's not your top two, Brad.
Right.
It's
the strongman was the prime event there.
I feel
The worst is the sheer amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
Agreed.
It is overstimulation at its finest. You walk in and you've already got music blaring at decibel levels that you're not used to. There's some lady squatting 600 pounds in an animal cage, and they already handed you 3,000 milligrams worth of caffeine. It is just people in overstimulation. And then the bathrooms, of course.
That all sounds fair. I don't think anyone is part of that.
No.
And I still don't even think this year was as bad as last year. And maybe it's because because Friday I had the kids, Saturday I didn't have the kids, and Saturday was still the worst. Right? And this year, at least I was able to get to and from Strength Co to Massonomics in a matter of minutes. Whereas last year, there was no fucking chance you were getting there. Like, you were doing the little penguin walk stuck behind 30 people just trying to get back and forth. So, and that's not to say you're wrong. That's to say, like, it still sucked with what I felt was less people.
Friday was really no problem at all. Saturday was, I was glad we were in the strongman show for like the meat and potatoes of the day, because there was so many people.
Yeah, we had seats last year at that one too, like dedicated seats.
Yep.
Otherwise, there's no way I would have fought that.
Yeah, and they're big people. They're not little people. They're big people.
Yeah, we hung out a lot at the Arnold, I think.
Yeah, we did.
Me and you and that over at the Massonomics booth. It was me again, just trying to recruit people to the crew for 6 hours.
Me just trying not to get body slammed by Hook.
I think that was everybody's goal, was just don't like gauge how much he's had and be like, do I go over there right now or no?
Well, you did walk with the fake lift shirt. How'd you manage to get that?
Yeah, so I saw them post that on Instagram, whatever, on Friday night, and we got in there right away Saturday morning, and I wanted to go. Yep, I wanted to go talk to Huck before he was bombed, because that doesn't take long. So I wanted to go see him, and I saw it wasn't hanging up anymore. So I asked Karen what happened to it. And she says, "Oh, we still got it. Do you want it?" And it was a medium. So she cut the sleeves off for me, gave me the Karen cut, and I had to wear that for the rest of the day because saw me not wearing it. Yeah, it was intense. So in a medium, it was relatively uncomfortable, but you know, with the sleeves cut off, I could make it work. It barely covered the nipples, but it is what it is.
And is it still hanging in the gym like it is in one of your last Instagram posts from like 6 months ago?
Yeah, it is still hanging up in the gym proudly as one of my treasures from my Arnold experience, for sure. I'll take it with me to Aberdeen in July. I think the guys were talking about the Friday night party being the fashion show.
That would make sense, honestly. That would kind of like, it would just be one big episode of, so what are you wearing?
Yeah. Yeah. So I will probably be wearing that. And you know what? It is what it is. It's a medium. Sue me.
Nipples never hurt anything.
Nope. Yeah, you had a bodybuilding show at the Arnold, right? I think the one day I was just like, I don't know if I want to wear these like shorts all day. I think it was the jorts or something, and somebody was like, it's a bodybuilding show, like literally nobody's going to be afraid of seeing your skin. And I'm like, touche. And very touche. I
wish I had worn the shorter jorts, you know?
Yeah, just rock the silkies for an entire time and just hope a mouse doesn't peek out the house.
There you go. I don't get any gum on my shorts.
I think the last pair of silkies just sold today. I think Tanner put it in the ether enough that someone actually bought the last pair of XL. I think it took him out of the last little bit of stock he had on the.
It makes me sad. They're my favorite things to lift in.
I definitely have a pair. I've worn them a few times.
Well, so I don't know what to make of this. So your occupation is that you fight with robots.
I have a job. I work for, it's a technology company. We do automotive aerospace. The company I work for, they invented the auto dimming rear view mirror. So if you have one of those in your automobile, that came from us. But I am in what we call the vision group. We do machine vision. We write our own software, do quality inspections, a lot of the automation process. And essentially I hang out at a desk, try to get some stuff done, set up new parts, whatever they need. I get phone calls from production when they think something is broken or not working correctly. I get to tell people that, have you tried making good parts? And then sometimes I get to go down there and I get to go wrestle with a robot. Sometimes all I got to do is show up and it just starts working. So, but it's really hard to explain what I do without somebody that's been in that environment and just seen it. So think about, it's kind of half IT and then half production maintenance, among other things. So, but I spend a lot of time there. I work probably 55 hours a week. We are always busy, nonstop, wrestling robots.
So you
All
said you were
right.
in the vision department, right? Or the vision group or whatever. So do you have a vision board there?
We do have a vision board.
Nice
Um,
little pun.
yeah, it probably says some nonsense or whatever about, culture, yada yada yada. Our culture just is what it is. I've been at the company for almost 15 years. I've been in the group I'm in now for a decade.
Oh, wow.
So I work with some really cool guys. I love everybody I work with. It stinks to go to work some days, but because of the dudes I work with, it makes it really, really fun.
Nice.
We have a good time. Everybody else in the office probably hates us because we probably get really loud. We're probably really obnoxious. So, but it's a good time. I don't hate it.
That's the most you can ask. Having a job you don't hate, that's that's a win in my book.
Yep. But I do get up early. I'm up at 5 every day. So I think you're an early riser too, right?
More often than not. I mean, like there's days when I get to sleep past 6, I'm ecstatic because that doesn't happen very often.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. It feels nice.
Well, hopefully, sorry we're keeping you up tonight, but I think it's for a good cause. And worst case, just call in tomorrow. I mean, they can fight robots by themselves. They don't need Brad there tomorrow. Just take a sick day.
I'll be there. That's what Old Reliable does. They call me Old Reliable. I'm just always there.
I'm actually
It'll
off
do.
tomorrow again. Yeah, it'll do. What is
nice.
long drink?
Long drink. So my best friend Palmer is a rep for Alliance Beverage, which is our largest beer distributor. So he's a beer salesman.
Mm-hmm.
And long drink is a Finnish beverage. It is essentially, think like grapefruit soda with booze in it. It's refreshing. It's delicious, and I think they got different flavors now. They've got no sugar, regular. I think there's a new pineapple flavor. Apparently, it's really good. I haven't had it yet, but yeah, they did host they sponsored a little party at the Park Theater for a for Steven Seagal, which is a Finnish folk band that essentially does folk covers of rock songs and a lot of metal. And they were absolutely incredible. But the promo for the day was sponsored by Long Drink, and Palmer had a 19-foot tall inflatable long drink can that he wanted to put up for the promo because, well, yes, it looks cool, but it was also the windiest day ever. And we got the promo photos and we were trying to hold it down while we deflated it out of the tiniest little hole that it could deflate out of. And a big old wind gust came and it took me and all 225 pounds of me up off of the ground, carried me backwards, and then body slammed me onto the sidewalk. The hat I'm wearing now went flying out into traffic. So I got some good bloodied elbows, nice little bone bruise. But long drink covered my dinner and everything I drank for the night. So the price you pay for a good time. but that is long drink. You should definitely, I don't know if it's hit Aberdeen, but if it's at the zoo, you should give one a try. They are really tasty. Maybe I will. We'll call your buddy up and he can come in and support the Lift Hard Live Easy with his 19-foot can of death. It's out of his territory, but I'm sure he would come along if I asked him to. It's only out of his territory if he doesn't claim the territory. So you almost died drinking a Four Loko? What is that story? Yeah, so COVID kind of ruined my buddy's 40th birthday. We were supposed to go up north and do a guy's golf weekend, and we finally got around where my son just finished school. He's going to be a senior next year, so he's older. He's low maintenance, but everybody else has young kids, so it's harder to get us all together. And finally, this fall, we did Anders' 40th birthday party, and Palmer did what he does and raided the warehouse, and he got us some Four Lokos. And Saturday, after golfing and drinking all day, we had ourselves some Four Loko. And what happened after that, I'm not entirely sure, but we entered what I like to call the shadow realm, where it just got weird.
I've been there.
And
I know.
we were we cooked some steaks. They ended up okay somehow. I don't know. I have video on my phone of the grill just being engulfed in flames, and me
Pittsburgh.
using some sort of Boston accent, saying so like Jesus Christ or something. I know I sounded like Big Matt basically.
I'm surprised the food was good and good then.
Yeah, no, they turned out fine. They're just, they had a little extra char on them. And then we washed down those 4 Lokos with, I believe, some Colt 45s. And then from the Shadow Realm, I just laid on a couch and hiccuped for like 2 hours before I finally fell asleep. And then I woke up to Andy, I think, vomiting profusely.
I was for sure that story was going to be like, yeah, when I was 16, I was a dumbass and I drank like 6 bottles of it in a field with my buddies. I didn't expect you to be like, well, when I was 42, I did this. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. No, I mean, this was like 8 months ago.
That's hysterical. I expected it to be from 18 years ago.
Yeah. So 4 Loko, still a thing, and it gets the job done. Don't recommend, but also maybe do. I don't know. Depends what you're into.
Have you ever ran into a Bizarro Tron in the what do you call it?
In the Shadow Realm?
Shadow Realm. It's a little Bizarro Tron adjacent, I feel.
It's entirely possible. I probably had a full blown conversation with Bizarro Tron, but I wouldn't remember. So that was nice. A rough next day for an old man like myself.
It's like it's the magical tree from Wakanda. Right, you just show up and Bizarrotron is there, and you're just like, "You too, man," and he's like, "Me too, man."
That's that is literally that's what it was like. We just drank the heart-shaped fruit or whatever, and we were gone. we went to the Shadow Realm, the realm of the ancestors.
Okay, so this feels like a cop-out. And do I sound okay? Like, is my mic okay, or am I just like losing hearing? Okay. So this sounds a bit like a cop-out, but apparently one of the things you hate are stupid people. So, like, who doesn't? But I feel like that's a tautological argument. Like, what? So give me a tautological argument is the idea of it's a self-referential. So if I say what's a stupid person, all you can really do is point at it. Like, explaining to me what a stupid person is, like, you can't. You have to explain it. But it's on here enough times that you're like, obviously it's something you talk about. Same as me. Like, if you asked Morgan one thing I hate, she'd be like, stupid people. So give me an example.
For me, it's maybe not so much stupidity and ignorance as it is irrational people.
That's on there too, yeah.
Right. So the people that you can't even reason with. So if you have somebody that you can't show scientific data to, and you have data that proves your point, and they're still like, yeah, nah, I'm not doing this. Like if you want to go back to, last week, you want to talk about, the flat earth, conspiracy or whatever. It's like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. So it frustrates me. And there's some things like, just irrational people. They fluster me beyond belief. And I just, sometimes I can't comprehend how people just can't see scientific data and just be like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. They'll still create their own narrative.
Because today we were driving and where our dentist was. I had to take my kid and wife to the dentist today. And this little plaza is an L-shaped, the parking lot. So if you come in on this side, you make a left turn on the other side and you can exit. Well, this guy decided that wasn't good enough. So he turned into the one entrance and then was just like, nah, fuck it. I'm going to back out into oncoming traffic. And like, he almost hit the guy in front of me. He's almost hit a mail delivery truck. And it was just like, bro, you could have done like a U-turn. You could have done a 3-point turn, but you literally just backed out of a driveway into oncoming traffic, into an intersection, because like you just couldn't do the one. And that's the kind, like, when I think of stupid people, I think of that guy. That guy was just like, nah, fuck everybody but me. I'm going to do this thing that like almost kills people. But hey, I got out of this parking lot without having to make an additional turn.
Sure. Yeah. Well, like I'll get so I'll go on my rants at work where I'll get a phone call where I will get something where somebody wants me to look at one of our inspections, right? And so we have these glass elements, the mirrors, right? They're on a station. We're running an inspection, and I'll look at it and be like, "Hey, buddy, there's no epoxy on that part. There's nothing holding that part together." He's like, "Oh, sure there is. Yeah, there's something on it." I'm like, "Man, I have got a live feed of that station right now, and I'm telling you, man, there's no glue there." He's like, "Oh yeah, there's glue," and I just got to put the phone down, and usually this hat just kind of comes off, gets kind of tossed, and I just kind of, got to bury my face in my hands and just gather myself for a moment. And then that's when I get up and I just go, you know what? I'll be down there in a second. And I
To put the
wander
glue
on
on.
down there. Yeah, you have to show them that clearly this is missing the black sticky stuff.
Well, if you ever need a good word to use that feels really, really good to say and nobody knows what it means, you can say tabernacle. So it's a French word that essentially means, I think it has something to do with, I don't know, I won't get into it, but the way they use it, it essentially just means fuck. Sometimes when something so illustriously stupid happens, I will just mumble tabernacle because it just feels so good.
Yeah. The guys know when I got a good one because I wear my heart on my sleeve, so you always know what I'm thinking. You can see it in my face. So
same.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Unfortunately, I deal with customers face to face, so I have trained for many years not to show everything on my face. But the guys that I work with close, as soon as somebody walks away, they'll look at me and go, "So?" And I'm like, "I gotta go for a walk." No, I have to fucking go for a walk. Like, you can't.
Mister, you all right?
Yeah, exactly that.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not okay.
Nope.
I need a minute.
I'm gonna go to the stand in the freezer, cool down for a few seconds.
We're going to the backup beverage here.
That's a spirit.
Yep. Shout out to my boys at Pigeon Hill Brewing in Muskegon.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Catalina Mexican Lager. One of the go-to beers in the biggest Brad household.
Well, I did move on. I'm drinking a light beer now because turtleneck and chain. Yeah.
Well, Big Brad, so one piece of Massonomics merch that you wish you had bought, or something that you that's in the vault that you can't get no more.
Oh man, 8-bit Highland, my dude.
Yeah.
I covet that so greatly. I don't
Flag and shirt, or just shirt, or a little bit of everything.
both.
Yeah.
Both. I mean, I think I started doing Highland stuff probably right before that thing disappeared and just never had my chance to grab it. If they ever bring it back, I can guarantee I can probably sell 20 of them at a Wednesday night practice.
Well, there you go. That's a call out, Big Tanner. Come on.
Yep. We would love to have that one come back. That one would be a hot commodity.
And worst case, dude, see if you can do like a 20 run of flags or something. I'm sure they could.
Yep. I have my first Massonomics order ever was when I was setting up the basement gym, was the 8-bit powerlifting and an 8-bit strongman flag. So that was my first ever order. So I got those flags. I don't actually have those shirts because I probably need another black t-shirt. Like I need to get kicked in the face. But yeah, 8-bit Highland is, I covet that. Definitely.
What does the basement gym look like? What's your what's your gear? You're set up towards powerlifting, so just what you got down there?
Yeah, so I just got a Rogue Monster Light squat stand, if you will, with the spotter arms. And then this was all being set up during the pandemic.
Expensive.
So I have just a Rogue, like a boneyard bar. I'm not even sure what, I know it's a 20 kilogram bar. I don't know. It doesn't have center knurling.
That's probably the Ohio bar.
Yeah, it's got, it's just got the one ring, the one marking ring on there. So I'm not entirely sure what kind of bar it is.
Might even be weightlifting then, or it's just was it a grab bag or a boneyard, because it's different.
Yeah, it's got boneyard end caps.
There might be a weight lift because like the Ohio bar has dual ring. I
Right.
think the only single ring bar would be some kind of ollie bar. Is it whippy as fuck when you're put like 400 pounds on it?
No, see, I pulled 405 today when I was lifting on it, and that bad boy is stiff.
Oh, then
So
okay, I'm mistaken. Then so that is a power bar. Well, that's weird. It doesn't have fucking center knurl. You're throwing me off. I don't know what the fuck it is.
yeah, no, I literally I don't I've looked, I've tried, I don't know what it is.
Oh,
I got it off Facebook Marketplace. It was from
it's probably a grab bag bar, and some douchebag just put boneyard end caps on it instead. So yeah, that would be my guess because that doesn't sound like a any boneyard bar that they have.
yeah, the guy I bought it from, he was the second owner of it, so he
Mm.
wasn't even the OG owner. So
It gets the job done.
so I don't know what it is. I've got a Titan, like a neutral grip bar, which that was a necessity because to bench for a while, my shoulder hurt. The neutral grip bar saved me. I still actually prefer benching with that. Like if I'm just benching for the sake of benching, that neutral grip bar is just more comfortable. I do have a Titan, just easy curl bar. It doesn't get used too often, but I do use it. And then the OG setup was 15 years ago. I bought the Bowflex, the 1090 adjustable dumbbells or whatever. So I've got a set of 1090 dumbbells. I still got the old Bowflex adjustable bench. It's not great, gets the job done. And then I have the Titan safety squat bar as well, which has been, since the elbows have been screaming, it's been safety squat bar. And benching is just some dumbbell work, and I haven't gone heavier than 70 pounds because the elbows don't yell at me then.
It makes sense, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. That's why I own all the specialty bars and then half the fucking equipment I do. I got elbow pain. Let's do neutral grip SSB or make sure I have elbow sleeves on no matter what. I can relate to all that.
So I get a stock option payout here at the end of June, and I'm kind of hoping there's some Strengthco plates in my future, and then I'll probably get myself a Texas Power Bar, something proper.
They just relaunched that $50 off for 24 hours.
Yeah. I saw that. It might still get purchased tonight. We'll see.
No,
I've got the Texas deadlift bar, and Steve came and used it and said that his Canadian one had more aggressive knurling. And I don't know if I believe him because my hands are fucking hamburger after my Texas deadlift bar. So I'm gonna have to go and use his deadlift bar. Kabuki, the one was not the one that I used at your house, both of them. I didn't find as aggressive as the Texas. Like I wasn't completely beat up.
I don't remember which one. I think you used it. Did you use the Kabuki or the Texas? I don't remember. Was it orange or black?
It was orange.
Okay, so it was the Texas. But it's Cerakote, so it's gonna be a hair.
Oh, it was Cerakote? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sarah's coats.
Yeah, so like I've never pulled on a deadlift bar, and I think one of the things I'm most excited about getting to Aberdeen is just getting into the gym and maybe able to try some of that stuff.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, yep. Just pulling on a Texas deadlift bar, seeing does it, do I lift heavy enough that it makes a difference? I don't know.
If you have small hands and you have hook grip or anything, or just honestly, like the shaft diameter literally makes such a difference for me. Like pulling on a power bar versus it's 2 millimeters. That's 2 millimeters. That's a lot when you have small hands.
And everybody says to me, they're in the Discord, they said like, well, you won't notice a difference till you get to 500 pounds. But once you learn how to pull the slack, I'm feeling the difference at 3 plates between a stiff bar and a deadlift bar, right? Because like I'm on purpose creating some slack when I can. Whereas on my stiff bells of steel bars, you can't. You're just deadlifting. Like you're not.
We just want you to buy a new power bar and a deadlift bar, Brad. That's all.
Well, that's something that I would definitely love to do. But if I'm anything, us Dutch folk are financially responsible people.
I only say just the deadlift bar. That's what the Dilf stands for. It's damn, I love fucking deadlifts, right? So.
So is that where the term "going Dutch" is from? Then is that like a thing? I never.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because you split the bill because nobody wants to.
No, yeah, I understood that part. I just didn't know it was because Dutch were miserly.
Yeah, Dutch people are notoriously thrifty.
I didn't know how to say cheap, like without being insulted.
It's not cheap. It's thrifty. We will recognize value.
Okay. There you go.
Okay. So
and once value supersedes cost, then it's an easy sale, which is where I come in.
Then that should be that much more impressive that you're like in the top 30 in Massonomics supporting members, because that's a hard sell. Like that took me like a year to join, I think, because I was just like, I'm already friends with everybody online. I'm already friends with them on Instagram. Why am I going to join? What's this Discord shit? Like, it's surprising, like with how strategic you are with your other purchases, that you're like, oh yeah, $3 a month, fuck it, dive right in.
Okay, well then what led to this random tattoo? Like, how can you spend money on a random tattoo?
Well, it was $20, Joey. That's how you spend. That's how you get a random tattoo.
I want to see this $20 tattoo.
So it's
Tell
a
me
great
all
story.
about it.
It's Baby Yoda.
Oh, nice.
That's not his name.
Grogu,
there you go.
if you will. Yep. Just for the general public, they go, "Oh, Baby Yoda." So this is a great story. So this was the Wednesday night before Rise of Skywalker came out, and around here the weather was terrible. It was awful, awful weather. So, my wife saw that the local tattoo parlor was trying to drum up any business. So they had the girl at the front desk drew this up and come get it, $20. So I texted Palmer. He was bartending at his dad owns a pub burger joint in town. So he was bartending at the time, and he was the general manager there. They're dead. Nobody's in there. So he's like, cool, man. I'll come pick you up. Give me 20 minutes. I'm like, he's not going to show up. We're playing tattoo chicken now.
Yeah.
Well, shit. 20 minutes later, there he is in the driveway. There's headlights in my driveway. So I'm like, okay, well, babe, going to go get a tattoo now. See you later. So get in the car. None of us says a word. It's probably, it's a 15-minute drive out there. The weather's terrible. We don't say a damn thing to each other because I think we're just waiting for somebody to be like, let's not do this, because we have no previous tattoos. This is the only tattoos that either of us have now still. So yeah, we go there, fill out the paperwork, and it became a thing. We FaceTimed the wives the whole time so they could watch it happen. I think I had lifted pretty heavy that day. I think I had done arms, so I've got it extended, and it's like shaking, and I'm trying to hold it still for this poor girl that's doing my tattoo. And yeah, so now I have Grogu permanently emblazoned on my right wrist. Palmer has it on his left wrist. So yeah,
great.
Yeah, that's the weird stuff that best friends do sometimes.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
On a Wednesday.
Well, I get it. I've got, my Bray Wyatt tattoos. I didn't have those at the Arnold, but I think you've seen
those
them.
are new.
Yes, yeah. That's I've got the hurt in the heel from the Fiend thing. I've got this Macho Man tattoo. It says "cream of the crop."
Hell yeah!
It's actually a coffee creamer with the lid peeled up to pull like a cowboy hat with the Macho Man glasses. It's probably the stupidest thing I have on me.
Tomorrow is Macho Man Friday at work.
Ooh,
every Friday we all wear our Macho Man shirts.
Absolutely stunning.
So, yeah, it is Macho Man Friday. It's a big thing for us. So very important.
And that's company wide or just your obnoxious group that no one likes?
Just our obnoxious group that probably nobody likes.
So it's casual Friday, and you just take it to a theme.
Yeah. We do a whole on theme, and yeah, if we ever go down there and there's like 2 of us or 3 of us together, like everybody's like, wait a minute. Did you guys plan this? We're like, no.
Plan what? I didn't.
That's a good day.
I don't understand the reference. Actually,
go ahead.
I have a bone saw Macho Man shirt, so that's the one that I wear on a regular basis. Is bone saw.
That's a deep cut
from Spider-Man. Yeah,
because I also have a Spider-Man tattoo.
There you go.
So that's going to lead me into. I think I want to go with my Mount Rushmore. Okay, so it's this game that we stole from Tanner, where we want you to just pick the 4 things that you would put on the Mount Rushmore of this topic. Okay. So your top 4 Mount Rushmore that you're going to go and blow up a whole ass sacred mountain to put something for the whole world to look at. Wrestling finishers.
Ooh.
And I would love to hear why.
Okay. Number 1 for me, we're going to put it's got to be the Stone Cold Stunner.
Yep.
Because, I mean, the Attitude Era was like my high school years. So I was the prime consumer for Attitude Era content. In the Stone Cold Stunner, like an RKO, can come out of nowhere. You hit it, and it's done. So we're going to go with the Stone Cold Stunner. We are going to go with the Sharpshooter. I love Bret Hart.
Not the Scorpion Deathlock.
It is the Sharpshooter. This is the Bret Hart rendition. He is bored out of his mind right now. It is the Sharpshooter. Oh, man. I've got to think, and I got to go into my polls. That's 2. You know what? Just because it is so fun, the RKO.
Hell yeah.
The cutter. Anything. That thing can come out of nowhere, and it has on a regular basis. And it's insane. The creativity that they've done with it a few times.
Do you remember his old shitty move? He would take your arm, and then he would put his leg over your head, and he would like spin you, and it was supposed to be like a neck breaker with his leg. Yeah, and then somebody was like, "That's got to go, man. Like you need something as you become better that go." And that's when the RKO came out.
It was a little awkward, but yeah, the cutter, the RKO is much more. It's better for TV. Let's put it that way, right?
What's your favorite RKO of all time?
Just any of them where somebody's come flying out of midair. I don't know if it was like a Hell in a Cell or a War Games or something kind of style, but I know he caught somebody where I felt like it was like 30 feet out of the air, and he caught him midair and just laid it on him, and it was pretty incredible. But I mean, there's been a lot of them.
Yeah, that the Evan Bourne one where he did the shooting star.
Yes, he caught him on the shooting star.
Randy was on the ground and like kipped up, caught him with the RKO. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Wildly impressive. And then because it looks cool as hell, Adam Cole and the Panama Sunrise, it doesn't hit naturally, but it looks cool. I think it's kind of
is that the flipping pile driver?
Is it also like a Canadian destroyer?
The Canadian, that's the Canadian that was invented by. It was invented by fucking P.D. Williams.
Yeah,
one of the Team Canada guys.
For Adam Cole, it's the Panama Sunrise because he's a Florida guy or whatever. So that just because it looks cool as hell, and I think it's really difficult to pull off and to pull it off well without accidentally, really injuring your partner,
without killing somebody.
Yeah, without killing somebody, and it just looks cool as hell. But that is my 4. So
all right,
and I'm going to stick by it. I got to get this mic. I'm left-handed, so I want to drink with my left hand, and the mic is on the left side, and it's driving me insane. So watch me awkwardly drink with my right hand and try not to spill down my face.
All right, Keith, do you got anything you want to move on to? We just bored you.
So no, you're good.
Over like when he talks about racks and shit. I'm just like,
no. What is your gym name? And why is it that?
It doesn't really have an official name. The guys at work call it Uncle Touchies.
That's what I hear.
Because it is in the creepy basement, so it has been affectionately referred to as Uncle Touchies.
So does the Sheriff of Love ever get involved at Uncle Touchies? Because that is a nickname of yours. I hear.
Yeah. Yep. So Sheriff Love is an old nickname. Comes from the high school days. I was a big band geek. I think we've talked about that in the Discord before. I was a big band geek. I was band president. But in the percussion section, we all had nicknames. It was a thing. Early on, I was referred to as the Love Doctor. I had a lot of girls that were friends. They were not more than that, but so they called me the Love Doctor because I had female friends. And then senior year, when you take over the section lead, the snare drum harness has a sheriff badge on it. So the leader of the percussion section is known as the sheriff. So then it became Sheriff Love. And that has
Nice.
kind of stuck with me for all of eternity now.
Nice. So still friends with a lot of the band guys,
Uh,
and well, in your case, all the band girls. You were friends with all the girls.
yeah, I still talk to a few of them on social media every now and again. I mean, obviously we're all old and gone our separate
Oh
ways.
yeah,
But yeah, no, one of them is still one of my best friends yet. So
awesome.
yeah,
Well, since you brought
absolutely.
up the band, I'll hit you with a little band FMK here real quick. So, Big Brad, FMK, marching band, concert band, jazz band, FMK, marching,
Oh,
concert, jazz with druthers.
um, I'm gonna kill concert band. Concert season was boring to me. Um, I am gonna marry marching band. I love marching band. My son is in the marching band now. He plays saxophone. He absolutely loves it. They do all the competitions and they go real wild with it. Um, I'm excited for their halftime show this year. It's going to be the theme is 1985, so I think we're getting like Back to the Future and like Phil Collins. I think we're getting in the air tonight. I'm pretty excited to hear that at the football games. The football team is terrible. The band is great. Um,
Roll Tide.
uh, and
Oh
then
yeah,
yeah, and then we're gonna f the jazz band because you know what, man, those guys got some skills. So we'll we'll do that. That's Band Geek FMK right there.
there you go. And then since we had talked about football, so are you a Michigan fan, a Michigan State fan? I don't know where you're at geography wise.
Um, Technically closer to East Lansing, but I am a Michigan man. I
Gotcha.
am a Michigan guy. So
I
I
spent some
was
time in East Lansing. I actually got engaged to my wife. My wife was doing a an internship at East Lansing 2007, I think 2006, 2007. Yeah, that's when. So when I got engaged that weekend.
okay.
So I'll always have a fond memory in my heart.
Yeah, I got nothing against Michigan State. I'm not one of those people that hates Michigan State. I think anytime the Michigan teams are good, it's good for the state and it's good for the people. So, and it's usually a good time when they're both can be competitive teams. That's for sure. But I'm a
Yes.
Michigan man.
So in your opinion, your favorite all-time Michigan football player, and then the best all-time Michigan football player for what they did at Michigan, not like NFL. Don't cheat and say Tom Brady.
Oh, well, then in both cases, I think it's Charles Woodson.
Yeah, I figured you'd go with that.
Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah, yeah. It's Charles Woodson all the way. The guy was he was the I think he's the greatest athlete to ever come through the program.
He was what, like 96, 97, something like that. So you would have
Yeah, I
probably
think
been you would have been like a
graduated in
you would have been a kid.
90. I think he graduated in 98. I
Okay.
think, and then
Yeah,
that's when he was drafted by
Raiders.
the Raiders. So, yep, I have when he got drafted by the Raiders, I bought an authentic. I think spent like $300 buying an authentic Charles Woodson jersey. It's still in the closet, and I'm actually really proud of it because I actually kind of fill it out now.
That's awesome.
So before it used to go down to like below my knees.
I don't have a jersey that old, but I have a Joe Thomas jersey from like 2006 or 7 or something, but that's not that. It's not like 1998. That's a fucking old as shit. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it still hangs in there for 1998. Still looks good.
I love it. Big Jen had one thing she wanted me to ask you that plays into the Dutch here. Let me get down to it. Okay, so she wants to know who has the best tulip festival and why is it Pelly, Iowa? Pella? I almost think she picked the fucking name of the town because she knew I was gonna stutter on it because it's
Yeah.
Pella, and I'm like
Pella.
I had to go back to Instagram and actually look to see if I copy and pasted it right because like is she fucking with me?
Yeah.
So
It's like the window company, Pella.
yeah,
He can't say that one either.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Pella. You know what, man? Tulip time here. I live. We've got the highway that cuts through town, 31. I live east of that, and thank God, because if you live west of that, there is no escape. There is no going anywhere.
Oh, the pollen.
You are consumed by it. I enjoyed it when I was younger. I enjoyed being in the band and performing in the parades. Um, the band wore wooden shoes. We did a little dance and we played tiptoe through the tulips. The old people ate that shit up. They loved it. Is what it is. But yeah, tulip time is just a mess. And you know what? If Jen thinks Pella, Iowa is better, it probably is.
She was just all friendly there. So was one of your other nicknames OG? Did we talk about that? Was that a work thing or did I don't
Oh, gee.
someone has your nickname as OG? I don't know. Apparently not. Um, let's- so uh, so you a Lions fan then as well, I'm guessing?
Um, I am fully on board with the Dan Campbell Lions regime. I have not always been a Lions guy. I'm a Raiders guy. Kind of
yeah.
always have been. But that goes way back to like Tecmo Bowl on the old Nintendo, because we felt that even though I think they were all the same, there was no stat differences. They had Bo Jackson. And then I was always kind of a Bears guy because they had Walter Payton. But the Bears franchise has frustrated me beyond belief. And I'm gonna be honest for you, man. I would take a bullet for Dan Campbell right now and the Detroit Lions head coach.
Oh yeah,
That
my the Hard Knocks season. Like my wife will I can that's like one thing I can always get her to watch usually is at least the first couple episodes of Hard Knocks, as long as they're not all complete douchebags. Like she'll watch the whole,
yeah,
now they started doing Hard Knocks in season. I'm not fucking watching that. Give me like 5 episodes of preseason and then cut day and stuff, and I don't need an in season Hard Knocks. But the Dan Campbell Detroit Lions one, like she went all in on that, and like she like religiously like tracked the fucking Lions all season just because of that.
yeah.
That might
No,
have been 2 years ago now, but either way, it was.
I don't know. It drives me insane. They call the Cowboys America's team. I think that's a bunch of baloney. I think last year for sure. I think the Lions kind of became America's team. Out of nowhere, but yeah, Dan Campbell's turned that culture around there to the just being losers to being legitimate threats, and they took some outcasts that nobody wanted and they turned them into Pro Bowl players, and yeah, they're a problem, and that culture is turned around, and it's an entertaining culture. They're fun to watch.
Absolutely.
So yeah, go Lions, man! All in.
I dig it. Well, anything else we want to hit before we jump into unpaid?
I've just been sitting here updating the unpaid and underrated list for the entire conversation.
Well, that's fine. So Joey rolled his eyes at me earlier because I mentioned something that was up top that he had put in unpaid, but he didn't delete it from up top or check mark it. So I'm
Yes,
like,
I
well,
did.
I didn't. It must have been like simultaneously.
It might have also been in the list 5 times.
It's possible. So nonetheless, no, yeah, we got enough there for unpaid, but I don't have anything else we really want to hit on that's not already going to be an unpaid.
Well, just use code unpaid on all of our links, I guess. Been a while since I got anything from Obsidian
It's been a
Alone,
while.
so it's been a while.
Oh, so I'm hoping
Good call.
I'm hoping we're getting an actual link for plate snacks for our banners.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned that like a week ago. It was the holiday weekend. Not gonna bust his balls about it. I'll reach out to him in like a week or two if I don't hear anything. But you know, help us if you wait and order it once we actually get that other link because we might actually get a little bit more of a kickback potentially. So we will see when that actually happens.
Yep, post that up when you get it. I need an unpaid underrated banner, so
Do it up. I
Yep.
will get that. Is hopefully by the time this comes out. If not, I'll reach back out to him.
perfect.
All right. So should we move into unpaid and underrated then?
Let's do it.
We're approaching about an hour and a half, hour 40. And
Yeah,
our goal is to be around 2 hours. So let's go. Let's go then.
That's fair.
Let's do it.
So Big Brad, you're familiar with the game, unpaid or underrated. If anyone's listening for the first time, it's a game we like to play. Came up with it ourselves, completely original. So underrated is easy. That means it's awesome. You love it. Underrated sounds great. Unpaid sucks. No one wants to be unpaid.
But there's
Big Brad.
nuances, right? Like, you've got your druthers.
Indeed.
Yep.
So Big Brad, unpaid or underrated Cadillacs.
They are underrated. My Cadillac is a part of me. I was in a god awful accident about 10 weeks ago. I was at a red light and I got rear-ended by a young lady on her phone at 60 miles per hour. And 10 weeks and 18 some odd $1,000 worth of damage later, she is finally back in my possession. And I am happier than I have been in the last 10 weeks. That is for sure.
The lady that hit you?
The young lady that hits me.
No, you said, okay, you just said this lady hit me, and then you went, and now she's back in my possession. I thought it'd be really
No,
funny
the,
to kind
the
of.
caddy is back in my possession.
No, I
after
got
10
that.
weeks.
I got that lady. She's in
So
my Uncle Touchy's.
so the funny thing is one, I couldn't believe she was alive because her car just folded up like an accordion. I barely even felt it because caddies are just tanks. But I've got a 2019 CTS. It's all wheel drive. Of course, I live in Michigan. It better be all wheel drive. But yeah, all her airbags went off. I got out of the car. I had to bend her car door, basically put my foot on there and just kind of wrench it and bend it to get her out of the car. I can't believe she was fine. Her car was a total loss. She was super apologetic. I was very, very nice to her. I don't know how I managed that, but I was very, very nice to her. She works at my company. She had only been there for a month, so I have gone down and I have checked on her multiple times to see how she's doing. I mean, she's
friend of the ladies there, Big Brad.
she's probably 19 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yep, looking at her
man.
phone, distracted. But Cadillacs are underrated. I love that car.
Nice. Did I miss it? Was it totaled then? I'm assuming, or
shockingly, it was not.
Okay.
Had they totaled it and just paid me out for it, I would have been able to buy pretty much an exact replica, pay off what little bit I still owe on this one, and then probably put a $5,000, $10,000 into the bank.
Oh wow!
It would have been financially better for me if they had just totaled it instead of me being out of a car for 10 weeks and having to wait for it. So, but it's back and I'm very happy it's back.
It's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. All right. Number 2 here I got for you. I already know the answer to this, and it's going to make me sad, so we'll have to have a little chat. So, unpaid or underrated, Leonard Skinner.
Unpaid. I know it's a hot take.
Ugh.
I don't get it. I can't stand Leonard Skinner. When I hear Sweet Home Alabama, I get irrationally angry.
Oh, I love
Leonard
Skinner.
Is it just that song? Because I can see that. Like, I fucking hate, and I've said it before. I've said it before. Like, I fucking hate Hotel California. What a shit song.
I'm deadlifting to that tomorrow.
Like, yeah, you like to do that to me. But like, okay, so what about Gimme 3 Steps by Leonard Skinner?
I think it's worse than Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, Jesus.
Stop it.
Bow to Curse Low.
No, that one drives me insane too. The only one that maybe doesn't completely trigger me is Freebird.
It's like one of the worst.
That's literally the most hated song. I mean, I love Freebird, but I could see the hate for Freebird because it's the most, at least like I remember like seeing your trip in 2004. It was like a parody to people to like ask someone to play it or something, and I was just like,
right.
I didn't get it. I
and the Fabulous Freebirds came out to it. They were the first. It was the first real entrance song in wrestling.
But yeah, Leonard Skinner, man, that is always my musical hot take. I just can't. I can't do it. I will turn the radio off and drive in silence if I have to.
I'm 50% with you. I think sometimes it comes on and I'm like, hell yeah. Like, Sweet Home Alabama, I could easily do without ever again. When I was driving a truck and a young dumb boy, I had the Dukes of Hazzard, the new movie, and it's such a good album. But like, yeah, I probably murdered Leonard Skinner for myself at that time.
I forgot that Johnny Knoxville did that movie in like 2005 or something, probably.
And do you know who wrote and produced it? That was Broken Lizard. So that is technically a Broken Lizard movie. That is why they're all in it. So it is in the Super Troopers universe.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, Big Brad. I mean, you just have thoroughly disappointed me. I think I'm gonna go ahead and hang up here, but I guess I'll get one more unpaid or underrated for you before I hand it over to my co-host here. So I'm gonna go with Dungeons and Dragons, the 4th edition.
Dungeons and Dragons is it's underrated, man. It's a good time. Get together with a group of nerdy friends and play some Dungeons and Dragons. It's fun. You just get to use your imagination. You get to hang out with the guys, roll some dice. We got a group that tries to get together as often as possible. It can be hard. I know they're playing on Saturday. I got stuff going on. I won't be able to join them, but it's just a bunch of guys around a table. We'll play some Dungeons and Dragons. We'll drink some beers, probably some bourbon, and spend most of the time probably just making fun of each other and giving each other a hard time. Dungeons and Dragons is underrated. It is a good time.
So what do you play? Do you have like a specific character you like to play?
Currently I am playing a human half elf samurai. So I am just a big burly fighter with a high armor class, and I don't have a whole lot of options, but I want to go stab that thing over there. So my turns are real quick. It's kind of nice. I get it over with. Then I sit back and drink my beer and just give the guys shit while they have to go through and flip through all their pages and figure out what they're going to do with themselves.
So. Morgan has this fantasy, and it is a fantasy, of me playing Dungeons and Dragons with her. And she has actually developed a character for me that is essentially Bray Wyatt and the Fiend. So I have one character who is highly charismatic but slightly evil, and another one who is just a twisted barbarian violent. And sometimes like they can trigger, like her idea is like, oh, like you lose a charismatic role, you turn into the Fiend and you completely destroy this whole mission. Like she just has this, but it's hard to make it work in the realms of the rules. And so I was just like, I'm never going to play, but I love that you're creating this thing for me.
And the nice thing about it is you can bend the rules. I mean, we've got one of my buddies is a giant elephant man. At one point in time, the guys were playing as giant. They were turtles. They were giant turtle people.
Nice.
And it was stupid because like their defense is so high that like they had to create like enemies for us to fight that could actually hurt them. So I'm getting one shot killed because I'm a bard with my freaking banjo, and we got the Ninja Turtles over here in their giant shells. And yeah, I'm getting one shot killed and they're taking 0 damage. So always a good time. I spent a lot of time half dead. So, but yeah, that's the fun part about it. You know what? You can bend the rules a little bit, use your imagination. Most importantly, just have fun. Underrated.
All right. I'm going to go a little rapid fire. So you feel free to answer these as fast as you want, as long as you want. But they do kind of go in succession here. Unpaid or underrated? Zach Wilde.
Zach Wilde is underrated. And it feels weird saying that he's underrated, but he's certainly not unpaid. But Zach Wilde, that man can absolutely shred. Never forget the first time I saw him live. And I think I've seen him, just got to see him with Pantera a couple times in the last few months, which has been really, really awesome. He's done a good job, playing his way and then still keeping some dime in there, which is really awesome. But yeah, Zach Wilde is that dude can just shred. He's probably one of the GOATs. He's got to be. If he's not,
I would agree.
Haven't listened to him.
I would agree. For those listening that might not know, Zach Wilde played for Ozzy for a number of years. He would have been on the No More Tears album, pretty much all the way up to the Prince of Darkness album. And then the last song he think I would have done was Gets Me Through, but he also does Black Label Society, to which at the Arnold, here I am walking out of my jorts, just as we're all leaving too. Brad looks down and goes, "Is that a Black Label Society tattoo?" And I was like, "Yeah." Right. And that's when he was like, on the podcast, we talked metal and wrestling. Let's get
Hell yeah, man. Dude, Zach is his riff from Perry Mason.
Yep.
The dude that gives me chills every time I hear it, man. It is so Zach. It's just it's wonderful.
I think I talked about that on a very early episode of this podcast. It's just like, that song doesn't have to go as hard as it does. It's about a fucking like TV show lawyer, and it goes heavy and hard and catchy.
It might be my favorite Ozzy song. Yeah, quite honestly,
it's definitely up there. But it makes me laugh. Honestly, it's one of those songs that it makes me laugh every time. But I think the same album, that's Osmosis, has
Yeah,
Hellraiser on it, right? The original Hellraiser,
I think so.
which was Lemmy, Zach Wild, and Ozzy Osbourne all writing a song together.
Oh, Lemmy.
Yeah, fucking love Lemmy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, first celebrity funeral to make me cry was Lemmy going.
That was a hard loss, man. Because yeah, he was just special.
I mean,
He
like
meant
he
he
was
meant something
90
to the
or something.
community.
Yeah, he was like 90 or something, so we can't say like it was unexpected. But
And he
like he
had no
was,
business still being alive, considering his lifestyle.
yeah, but he was touring.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
always tell that's the story of if you're going to do something, do it. So I was on the Facebooks at the time and I saw like Motorhead playing this week in Toronto. And I was like, shit, like I don't have tickets. I could go, but like I got to get all the way over there and blah, blah, blah. So like, I'll get him next time. And then he died a month later.
Mm.
Right. So that's your
Yep.
lesson to just do the thing because you never know
Yep.
what's coming next. Right.
I got to see him a couple of times. They opened up for Iron Maiden once, and then I got to see them as a headliner one time, just in a small local club. It was the Orbit Room. Absolute piece of shit. I'm sure Dodds knows what it is. What a shithole.
He's probably been there.
Um,
He's probably there now.
but yeah, but saw so many concerts there. Um, but yeah, God, that was so good, so loud. There's an obscure band called Valiant Thor that opened up for them. I'll never forget it. Um, they're really obscure. Check them out. They actually do some songs about. They actually do some wrestling songs, which are pretty entertaining. But yeah, no, it is still one of my favorite concerts of all time. Was seeing just Motorhead in that small club. It was incredible.
And Zach's a lot more interesting to watch now that he's sober. I've got so many Black Label things. Like when I got my wisdom teeth removed, I went to a Black Label show the next day.
Oh hell, you can't
And
miss it for wisdom teeth.
I'm wearing my vest, right? Because I've got the vest, I've got the t-shirts, I've got the bandana, I've got long hair, no beard at the time, but like I'm all decked out. And I'm like, okay, I've still technically got anesthesia in me. I can only have a couple drinks.
You have what? Yeah, that's not how you say
Anesthesia.
that word.
How do you say
It's
it?
not what you said. You
Anesthesia.
That's Brad. How do you say that word?
I think that's correct.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's anesthesia. What do you? That's it. Are we saying it
Nope.
different?
Nope.
Well, I mean, it's not as bad as he normally mispronounces, words. Anesthesia, putting some emphasis on the SIA at the end isn't as bad as, like we
Well,
said.
I'm also saying the TH anesthesia.
Yeah, I don't think
That's probably
I've
what's
never
throwing
heard
you
it.
off.
Yeah, I've never heard it pronounced that way here.
Maybe that's it.
Oh. Oh well. Either way, and like I'm just walking through the crowd, and this dude walks up and he goes, "Hey man, my brother's trying to get me drunk and I can't drink here." And he just hands me 2 drinks. And I was like, "No, I'm not taking drinks from a stranger." And he takes a sip and he goes, "There. Like I promise, I just can't drink these." My girlfriend at the time's looking at me and she's like, "No, man, that's wild." And I was like, "Okay." But then like on my way out, it wasn't a very good concert because Zach was so hammered.
Mm.
And I even left feeling like I didn't enjoy this experience. Like this was not my favorite. I think it was actually the last time I saw them.
Okay.
And there's some like 8-year-old kid, and I'm like, "Hey man, how'd you like it?" He's like, "Yeah, it was all right." So I gave him my bandana, and I was like, "Go home, wash this. Like, remember that this was a great time for you." And it's just because that's what the Black Label Society has always was, right? Like that was the community for me before Massonomics was. It was the Black Label community.
Yep.
Right. You see somebody wearing the colors and you're like, yeah, brother, meow. You get to,
Yep.
do the Zach Wild meow at each other.
I know. Yep.
I'm not sure how you're going to go with the next one. I'm going to see. I've got a couple more I want to do.
Okay.
Unpaid or underrated NXT 2.0.
Unpaid. It became unwatchable very quickly. So the black and gold brand brought me back to wrestling. I think it was NXT Takeover when they were in New Orleans and they did the ladder match for the North American title, which was new. So you had Ricochet, Adam Cole, all the big boys at the time. And the black and gold brand brought me back
Mhm.
to wrestling. It's when I started paying attention again. And the black and gold brand was far superior to the main roster content. What Triple H was doing down there was far superior.
In
And
fact, if they brought up a black and gold person into the main roster, they'd ruin them.
Yeah. They just go and they would just absolutely just slaughter them and ruin them.
Yeah.
So, and then NXT, I don't know what Vinnie Mac was thinking with NXT 2.0, and
He
all of a
wasn't.
sudden it's bright colors. Yeah, I don't know, but it was the worst.
Mhm.
And I've stopped watching, and I have not gone back to even watching NXT again. I think there's some good stuff going on there now. I think it's Sean's running it now. I think it's Michael's, right, is running it.
Yep.
And they have some good talent there. But overall it became unwatchable. It is absolutely unpaid. I was heartbroken.
Yeah, I'd agree on that one. I think the first time I decided to watch it after, again, like I don't really watch now that Bray is gone, so I'm not really tuning in as much as I should. But then I was the first time I saw Braun Breaker, and I distinctly turned to my wife and said, "This fucker looks like Rick Steiner." And then I Googled him and I was like, "Oh, it's his son. Of course he does."
Yep. That's why.
Yeah. He's getting the Nepo push too, because like he's not that impressive, but he's getting a bit of the Nepo push there.
Right. He's like Goldberg 2.0.
Yeah.
And,
were the Steiners actually good wrestlers, or were they just like the fact that fucking Scott was yoked? And
no, the Steiners were good wrestlers.
Oh, the Steiners were phenomenal.
Yeah. And Braun Breaker is a very, very good athlete, but he still has some more work to do to be in the position that they're currently trying to put him in, is my personal opinion. He will be there eventually. Absolutely. If he trims down, slows down. Because right now the big push is look how fast this guy is. Well, yeah, but that makes him a threat in the ring. I've watched him like smash people flying, and you can't just do that to humans. Like that's unsafe wrestling.
Yeah.
So I'm actually not a huge fan of him. I think he is unsafe in the ring.
Yeah, I haven't bought into his character yet.
Yeah.
I hope he does well because I like the Steiners a lot. They were very good. I like his dad. I like his uncle. I hope he does well, but I'm not sold on his character at the moment.
Yep, I would agree. But speaking of that, then I want to go unpaid or underrated. All ego, Ethan Page. This can fall flat because it is a name. He just debuted on NXT. He was in AEW.
Yep,
but he's from my hometown.
Oh, he's from Hamilton?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I knew he was Canadian. I don't have a large sample size on him. So yeah, I can't honestly make a call, but
that's fair. I kind of expected that.
He's good on the microphone for sure, but I don't have a lot of sample size of his in-ring work at the moment. But he is definitely good on the microphone, and I think the talent is there.
And he also owns, I think, and helps operate a local show down here in Hamilton too, right? So like,
do love me my indie wrestling.
I see that, and that's why I wanted to put his name in there just to see if if I could get. All right, 2 more.
Okay.
Unpaid or underrated, Legos.
Legos are underrated. Hot damn. I love me some Legos. They have pretty much priced me out. One, because
Jesus,
they're all $300 plus, and I'm basically out of room. I am surrounded by Legos here. I've got a Super Star Destroyer that takes up, it's 3.5 feet, almost 4 feet long, takes up some space. Even down in the gym, I have 3 big shelves down there that have the Death Star and all the big kits, and I have coinciding Star Wars autographs and stuff that go along with these kits usually that I display along with them. I love Legos. They got that new the Lord of the Rings, the Barad-dûr, the Iosauron Tower coming out. Dude, that thing, the eye lights up. It's like, come on, I want that. But I think it's like $450, $460.
That's a barbell, so I think you're better served with a barbell.
It's so much money, and like I don't even where am I going to put it? I have so many hobbies. I collect so many things. Like you can see behind me here, I have these. I collect amps, alternative movie posters. So we do private commissions with big artists and get these posters made. I got more of them than I could even hang up.
You have so much shit that you could put on social media that you just don't, you fuck. Like we would know you so much better on Instagram if like you posted any of the 7 things you just said as like your actual hobbies. Like that's what Instagram's for.
Yeah. No, I guess I should get, I got to get, I'm not that good at it. I'm just an old white dude.
Like, taking a picture and fucking like, as long as you don't put hashtag blessed, you'll be good.
And I don't, like I don't film any of my lifts or anything like that. Cause I'm like, it's not that impressive.
The thing going up and going back down again. Why you want to see that?
I pick it up, I put it down. Like I don't know what you want to see. I think the only lift I ever posted was my Jefferson deadlift
I saw
entry
that.
or whatever, So
my kids are super into Lego right now. Well, my one kid is, because my wife loves Lego, so she's getting him into it. And I'm like, you better calm down or get a job. Like this is not cheap.
I have 6 big kits that are just sitting there in the boxes unbuilt, and they've been that way for like 4 or 5 years. Like I literally don't have a place to put them, even if I did build them. And I got a brand new one that I bought. It's sitting right behind me, still in the box. I bought the new TIE Interceptor that came out on Star Wars Day. I don't know where it's going to go, but it's cool, so I wanted it. So here we are.
No, it's very fair. So okay, so that's Legos are underrated.
Legos are underrated. More people should buy more Lego, spend all the money, give that money to the Danes.
Okay, so unpaid or underrated Lego loss.
Lego Loss that dude's underrated. That dude's a badass.
It's unpaid.
Unpaid? Nah, he's underrated, man. that dude could freaking slide down a giant elephant's butt and shoot an orc right between the eyes, I mean,
throw a dwarf.
Sick talent. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, look at that gorgeous hair. I mean, and flowing blonde locks. Just a nice salad up there, Legolas is underrated.
The salad or a sandwich?
Doll sandwiches. All right, I think you passed unpaid and underrated.
Yes.
Yeah, you can add that to your Instagram bio.
Hell yeah.
This is where we turn it around on you, buddy. What do you got for us? You got any questions? You got anything you want to ask the host of the Unpaid and Underrated podcast?
All right, let's go, Keith. I'm going to start with you.
Let's do it. Make it easy.
Your deadlift setup. Did this occur naturally?
Macarena?
Or are you just fucking with us?
No, I can't. No, I'm not fucking with anyone. Like I don't feel comfortable not doing it. I don't. It's a tick. I don't know if it's like a full blown Dodds tick, but it's like just under. It's just below a Dodds tick and like above like habit. I think like it's definitely above habit and ritual. But it's not like I don't know. I even do it when I fucking rack pull. I had to do it the other day when like to hype myself up for like a log for like the last rep of my log. I had to do like the arm behind the back. Like I don't know. I don't know why I do it. I won't stop doing it. It's worked. It's something that makes me feel comfortable. If placebo works, it's real. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey. Yep. No, if it works for you, I just like
but it's not. I've been fucking. I'd have to go back and look at some of my like. I have like my first 405 that I did like fucking like 9 years ago or something, and see if that video actually has it, because I don't know when I implemented it and if it was all the way back then or not. I think that might be my first Instagram post. That'll take way too fucking long to scroll down to find.
Yeah. If you think you got a long Instagram feed, Joey here, he is the king of the Instagram. So, but okay. So that just kind of occurred naturally. It's just how you do it. You set up and you go.
I don't have an answer as far as like, yeah, it's not a bit though, for sure.
Okay. Now, Joey,
Yeah.
Scrolling through your Instagram.
Uh-oh.
Is March of 2014 the last time you were beardless?
Yes.
And that is when the beard became part of your personality? Would you ever shave it off?
No, not a fucking chance.
No.
Unless I had to. Like if it was a safety thing.
Sure.
Or, like if you don't, something bad will happen. But otherwise, no. And I can tell you right now, the exact story. Started growing a beard. I've always had something of facial hair, had a mustache, had chops. Like I've always enjoyed having facial hair and like, having fun with my face. Cause like I don't take my outward appearance that seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started growing a beard, and it was right about the time that I had just started seeing somebody, but started hanging out with the woman who would eventually become my wife. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna meet the girl I'm seeing here. And Morgan was like, well, I'm in the area. I'll meet you both there. And a little while, like she's like, I don't know. The beard's like kind of everybody's got a beard. It's a hipster thing. And I was like, yeah, well, fuck it. All right. But then like afterwards, when I first started seeing Morgan, like me and that other girl broke up, her and her significant other broke up, I got sick and I shaved my beard because I was just so mad at having boogers in my mustache all the time.
That could be a problem.
Yeah. And that's when I walked in and she was like, no, you need a beard. And then I was like, you can do what I want. But then the next time I went to shave, my razor was rusty. And I looked at that razor. I can tell you right now, it was a Gillette Mach 3, blue and orange.
Fine choice.
I looked at that razor and I went, I'm never spending money on one of you again. And I threw it in the garbage. And that's when this started.
And that's how you became independently wealthy. Because some things are expensive.
Spray razors are fucking expensive.
All right, we're gonna go back to Keith.
Right.
Scrolling through the Instagram.
Oh,
So I do a lot of Comic Cons. I've met a lot of celebrities. Some are great, some are not. How is Jeremy Piven?
it was very brief. Yeah, I met him at a comedy show. Fuck, was that like 2018 or something? Probably. Maybe
Yeah,
even
probably. Yeah.
pre-COVID, but I don't know if it was like multiple years. But no, I met. He did a local comedy club show. It's funny as shit. Like I enjoyed all his stuff. I actually, I did the meet and greet and got the picture with him. Yeah, it had to have been like 2018 because I was skinny as fuck back then. It was I mentioned like my favorite movie that he was in. I mentioned it, and he was kind of like his eyes kind of lit up because it's not like a popular movie, really. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Very very bad things or something where like his character is fucking a hooker and up against a wall, and like her head smashes up against like a towel rack, and like it kills her, and like the whole movie is like them trying to get rid of the body. Uh, no, I'm just saying, like, so it wasn't an overly popular movie. It wasn't like, in comparison to the TV show and shit he was in, it wasn't like he was like known for, but
Yeah, it was
no,
pre-Entourage.
yeah, he wasn't a douche from the 45 seconds that I had with him.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah, so
I'm glad.
not
I love PCU if you want to talk about not
Oh, yeah.
popular movies.
That's old as shit.
Yeah, I love that movie. So all right. That was a good one. And then I will go ahead and oh my goodness. I think Joey's gone.
My light just broke. Like it finally went out. This thing fucking sucks. And
Joey's gone he's gone fiend on us.
Yeah, I could get the mask on if I needed to, but no, like
went Paul Foss on us. Just
the mask, the whole my light just broke, so we're just gonna do the rest of this in the dark.
All right. Well then, Big Joey, what can you tell me about Oprah Live? How was Oprah Live? Did you get a car?
No, God, no.
Anybody get a car?
I won those tickets, and like there are certain people in the world, and before we start talking about celebrities and billionaires and all of that political aspect of it, there are people in the world that are where they are for a reason sometimes. And I think that when you're in the room with them, and you can sense the eyes and the feelings and the excitement of the people around you. I think The Rock is one of those people.
I'd agree with that.
I think Bray Wyatt was one of those people. When I was at some events and rooms in the room with him. And I think Oprah is one of those people. And I think that seeing her live was definitely, I can tell you right. Actually, I was going to say I couldn't tell you, but now that I'm remembering, I can tell you some of the things she said and just how, they immediately shaped my perspective and worldview a little differently that exact second. And she was just doing like a motivational tour. She was just doing like a quick, Q&A with somebody. But it was pretty amazing. And I actually, so I won 2 tickets and the person I was seeing at the time didn't want to go. So I actually raffled off the other ticket to make money for the charity that I was on the board of directors for that we sent school bags of food home with kids on the weekends if we thought that they were food insecure at all. So I actually raised, I think like $250, $500 for that ticket because like it was front row.
Nice.
I was on the floor a couple rows deep,
Okay.
but it was dope. Thank you for asking. While I
Yeah.
try and
Nope.
fix this light.
That was my deep dive. And then Big Keith, I've got an unpaid or underrated for you.
Ooh,
We're going to your hometown of Rochester, New York.
sir.
How is the Susan B. Anthony House and Museum?
Honestly, I don't think I did. I was at her grave this past when my parents came up. We were just finding something to do, and like we were looking, and it would have cost us over $100 for my parents and my wife and I to go there for.
Really?
And I was just, well, I mean, it was like $25 a person or something for
Huh.
people. It's just like, so we opted not to do that, but we did. There's a huge. I have like one of the biggest freaking cemeteries, like at least I don't know about the country, but the state, like it's a massive, like it's like miles and miles and miles cemetery. And she is buried there. And we were just, we drove through it for like an hour, probably just going down all the roads. And my mom was just like enthralled of like, how old some of them were, because a lot of them were like 1800s, 1700s and stuff. And we did find her grave because it was like pretty prominent and like had like a sign and stuff. But honestly, I've never specifically gone to her home. That is, I mean, it is like a landmark. It is like a thing in Rochester, but
Yep.
I guess I'm a bad Rochesterian that I've been here since 2008 and haven't partaken in that.
Have you ever gone to a Rochester Americans game?
Yeah, yeah, I've been to some what are we not Red Wings? Aren't we Red Wings? Oh, okay, Americans is the hockey. Yeah, yeah. So
Yep.
I've done. It's been probably shit like a decade since I've gone to the hockey game, but yeah,
Yep.
um, I've gone to a few of those because the Blue Cross Arena, it's actually kind of nice because it's like fucking 6 minutes from my house. So like every concert that I've gone to in the last decade has been there because
I've been there.
I won't do an outside concert. Like it's just I'm too, I don't know. I don't want to go. I don't know. I like the idea of if I'm going to go to a concert, I want it to be 5 minutes from my house and be able to like park and get home and not have an issue. And I don't want to be dealing with like a place that has 50,000 people. I just want it's like a 10,000 seat arena or something. You've actually
Yeah.
been up there then. What the hell brought you? Was it just like following the hockey or something up here for like a minor league
So
game?
we have the Grand Rapids Griffins in Grand Rapids, which are 20 minutes from here, whatever. My wife and I were season ticket holders for like 6 seasons. And they're in the same league. They've played each other. I have an Americans jersey in my closet, actually. One of our favorite Griffins players, he left in free agency and he was in Rochester for I think he only played one season and he came back to us. But so he was my wife's favorite, so we got one of those Americans jerseys in the closet. It's a good uni. I'm a bit of a uni snob, so
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why you don't have any room for more Legos or barbells because you have all these jerseys from 1998 hanging up in your house.
I have a decent collection of game worn
You just have a
hockey
walk-in closet.
jerseys.
There's no way you're either talking about the closet in a spare bedroom or you have a walk-in closet because there's no way that
We have a
like
big walk-in closet.
okay because I'm like
Yeah,
that's a lot of stuff.
yeah. The so I have the man cave that I'm in now. Then I have the basement gym space, and then the way this house is built, there's an addition on. So I'm actually facing the old exterior wall of the house, but on the opposite side of that is like the master suite,
Nice.
and it's a ludicrously sized space. Like we do not have enough stuff in that to like fill that space. But like, yeah, so it's got a massive closet, but I still have way too much stuff because I'm terrible like that.
Such.
But yeah, no, Rochester looks like it's a pretty cool city to live in.
What'd you think about the Rochester traffic and the roads? Because Joey wasn't a fan, and I'm
I
obviously
fucking hated
have my
those.
moments.
I have not been to Rochester.
Oh,
So,
it's when they came to you. Okay,
right.
You
Yep.
saw
Yep.
you saw an America. I got you. I was so
Yep. So yeah. So
earlier
I've
when you
seen
said
the
you had been.
Americans coming
Okay,
to town here, but I have not
that
been to
makes
Rochester.
that makes more sense. I could have swore you said something about being in Rochester once.
But
So
someday I'll make my way through there because I gotta go to Cooperstown eventually. So I'll be coming up that way.
well, hit
So
me
that's
up.
gonna that's one of
Any
the
any crew that are next time they're in the neighborhood, this original thing that I came up with myself. I'd like to tell people next time they're in the area, they get a free day pass to the gym. That's a very original thing I came up with.
oh yeah. I'll use it too.
Do it. No worries. I'd love to have you.
All right. And Big Joe, I got the last one, and it's for you.
All right, hit me.
Unpaid or underrated. The Devil's Punch Bowl.
I fucking love that place.
It looks incredible.
Yeah, I don't get there very often. Um, But yeah, that's it's a weird little area here in Hamilton. It's got a nice waterfall. It's got a big silly um statue that lights up, and it's just a gorgeous little area, and it's now off to the side as, what do you call it? Like a natural, not a natural resource, but like it's a park.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a little hiking. You can go up and down it. Weird place for dead bodies. If you guys ever want to look up the Evelyn Dick, the torso murder here in Hamilton, that's actually one of the most famous things in famous murders in Canada. That's all revolves around that area as well. But a cool little place, got some history, an amazing little country market that I think is underrated. Not a lot of people know about. But not enough parking because they make you pay for parking because it's a natural park. So then all the roads are just lined with jerks that don't want to pay their $5 in parking. So then, like, you're trying to drive by it, because I also live up that way.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, amazing place. If you see it, especially if you get some aerial shots of it, you'll see why, because it apparently from above looks like a devil's head with horns or something like that.
Yeah. So I pulled it up on the Google Maps. And that's when I saw, I'm like, I've got to ask him what the Devil's Punch Bowl is.
Mhm.
And then I looked into it. Yeah, no, it looks incredible.
It's a ravine. Yeah, it's just a big ravine and waterfall.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty amazing. So Canada's got schools. Actually, Hamilton looks like a cool place. Looks like there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, like big city vibes, small town community, right? Like,
yep.
Part of getting back on Facebook was I kind of missed that part of the community. I used to be very active politically and in the community. I used to write for a local newspaper. Like, I was in. And when I kind of just disappeared from the world, I lost a lot of that. And, maybe I get some of it back. Maybe I don't. Again, like I said, I'm kind of fucking already over it. So
36 hours in.
Yeah. I've already scrolled through like twice, because I don't like doom scrolling. I don't doom scroll anything. But I was like, okay, let's check out Facebook for a minute. And yeah, like half an hour into it, I was like, yeah, I could delete this again. This doesn't matter.
The only thing I do on Facebook is race David for first comment on any Massonomics post.
I won a couple. I won one.
Yeah, I say, yeah, you won a few of them. Even today, I commented because it showed no comments. And then when my comment posted, I saw that Big David had beat me by like 30 minutes. I was like, oh. So I just deleted it and said, I concede.
That's funny.
That's the only thing Facebook's good for, is the Massonomics post race for first comments.
Yeah,
because there's like 3 of us on there.
Yeah, it hasn't made its way to TikTok yet very often. Like every now and then, like I literally open up TikTok like once a month, and then like it's all like I see like 4 Massonomics posts, and it's like, oh, every now and then I'll go throw a comment on one of them, because there's like they almost never have comments.
Yeah, no, yeah, I open up TikTok once a month, and then I usually got like 20 or 30 videos that one of the guys has sent me, and I just make my way through those and then move on. Usually how TikTok goes for me.
I could delete TikTok at the drop of a hat too. Fuck that.
I mean, for a guy that reels on Instagram.
Yeah, for a guy that, like you said, like Mr. Instagram, like I've had it for years and years and years, and so many posts, and same with Facebook. I used to have 1,400 friends. Like I have Twitter. I had almost 2,000 followers. Like I was social media guy, and now I'm just like, yeah, I get rid of that, and like just not miss any of it for a couple years. Actually, I went back on Facebook, and Keith, you probably saw me post this. One of my last posts 5 years ago was, give me a reason not to delete Facebook. And then I got to repost it 5.5 years later or something, and be like, well, this aged well.
Yeah, no, Facebook is, there's nothing good on there except for the race for first comment. That's the only thing Facebook is good for, in doom scrolling.
I've got like 20 years of family memories that I can't afford to lose. So there's like pictures on there that I don't have anywhere else. So
I hop on daily and check the memories, see what Allison tagged me in.
But like memories from like past relatives that like I don't want to lose.
That's such a problem in itself, is that like those don't belong to you. They belong to the company Meta. So if Meta decides one day that you don't get to have them, they're gone. And that is part of the reason I deleted Facebook 5 years ago, is because people were so hooked and adamantly like, this is my life, this is the only important thing, that I was like, that's insidious. That is dangerous to society. Yet fucked Facebook. Like, that was the day I decided to do it. And that in itself is, understandably, you want those memories, but my brain goes, no, that's a problem.
That's fair.
It's turning our frogs gay.
Chemicals in the water turn the frogs gay.
I'd never heard that until last week, and I don't know where it's a reference from.
There's a good song. I'll send you the song, because the song is more worth it than the original post.
Dude, Alex Jones clips.
Well, we're not going to get political here.
No. But yeah, that guy's insane.
He's wild.
That guy said some insane stuff for money.
Yeah. Speaking of saying insane stuff for money, Keith, where can we find you at?
Cut73 on Instagram. Go follow my Orange Jim, the No Wine Cellar. More importantly, we have an Instagram, Unpaid and Underrated Podcast. We have a website, unpaidinternpodcast.com. We have a YouTube that we don't get a lot of traction at, but so go throw us some likes on YouTube. If you see us in our feed, just give it a like. If you don't, obviously listen to it on your podcast, that's fine, but like the damn YouTube, please.
Oh, and leave us a review, please, on Apple Podcasts. That was a really good segue, but Brad, is there anything you want to throw in before we kind of like really hammer this shut?
I don't think so, guys. This was a good chat. I think we covered a lot of bases here.
All right. Well, where can we find you, buddy?
You can find me at Brad_Dieters on Instagram. There's nothing there. There's nothing to see, but that's where you can find me if you need me, or on the Discord, of course.
And you can find me on the Discord. My gym does not have its own Instagram because I am just not that type of person. Don't find me on Facebook. Fucking Kurt Locker, I think, just tried to add me to Facebook, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to go that far, buddy.
I don't know how Uncle Touchies would go over on Instagram. Should I start an Uncle Touchies Instagram page?
No, you know what?
I don't think you would.
We'll do a collab between Uncle Touchies and the Dilf Dungeon and see who we attract.
See what kind of characters we attract.
That's the
We'll definitely attract people that use our affiliate links. So Obsidian Ammonia, code unpaid, Barbell Rescue, 2-year anniversary. I think Kim's running a 20% off sale.
Keith just froze. He's
back.
He's back.
Use our affiliates.
There's a speaking of the Dilf Dungeon thing, I know Keith wants to wrap this up, but that was a really funny. There's a Fozzie the Bear joke where he says, when you put on lovable bear looking for a good time on dating sites, you get the wrong things. Not wrong in general, just wrong for me.
Nothing wrong.
Anyway,
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. And that's about it.
All right, boys. See everybody. Well, we'll see you next Tuesday, right, Keith?
Have at it. There we go. That'll work.